No, I trimmed it down. So it was pretty. It was a lot bigger before, and then I trimmed her down. Muted, maybe? Question mark. Hear the sweet pea? No, okay, I heard me. I don't hear you. Yeah, I don't hear you on your stream though.
Setting. Okay, sorry, now you can hear me. I don't know why I changed the audio setting. That was strange, but sure.
Go.
Wouldn't be such and such if there was some things that were broken. I don't have the normal music, so it's a little funky. Hello, everyone. Wander, Christy, Joseph. Hi. I don't know if I missed anyone, but I don't think so. Hello, Zeno.
Hello, Wolfman Muzzy.
I was saying about the beard, but I guess that's what cut off. So you let it grow out a little bit?
Yeah, I trimmed it down. It was getting pretty bushy, so I trimmed her down pretty far. Cut off like an inch.
That's why
It was a lot.
mine's really bushy. I didn't cut it.
I gotta bush it back. I kind of miss it now. I'm like, oh man, I did like that bushy, so grow back out again. I think.
Christy, how is Zeno doing? How is Zeno? We were talking about your week and your roof, but
doing pretty good. Yeah. Sitting in limbo of the roofers. So there was a roof situation where so to have house insurance in Utah, you have to have a roof that is insurable. You have to have insurance to keep your house, I guess, in Utah. So the insurance was like, hey, if you don't replace your roof, you're not gonna have insurance anymore. So
the funny thing is, we had to do that too. The main concern for theirs is fire, though. Like if you have a wood burner, where it's placed. Does it have I don't know the name for it, but like a heat absorption like plate that it sits on, and nothing can be around. No walls can be around, like so much or so close to it or whatever. But for the roof, all I had to do was go outside and take a picture of both sides of the roofs. They're like, yeah, you got a roof, you're good. It's like, okay, sure. But no, the fireplace was a little weird. Like it's and it's like, I want to say it's like that thick or so, that the plate that sits on, and it was too close to the back wall. So I had to, it was when some friends of ours visited, I had to lift the wood burner up, which is freaking heavy. And we had to have like 4 people move the base, and then we set it back down. It was a whole nonsense, but we got that taken care of. But like I said, they're more concerned with with fire.
Yeah,
but I mean, do you guys get tornadoes where you are?
We've had one ever.
Maybe that's why.
I was on vacation, but it's mostly because we get some pretty heavy like winds and storms and stuff here, snow and things like that. So we do have some pretty terrible weather, to the point. So the roof had a 30-year warranty on it. It only lasted 22 years, so we should get a little back from the warranty. But essentially, the shingles were, you could see like some of the fiberglass coming through the edges and stuff. Like they were pretty worn. I had a couple of roofers check it out, and they both said, yeah, it definitely needs to be replaced. So we went through this nice company though that's been pretty good, and they're also going to paint the house after they're done. So they got everything torn off, which is a huge process and really messy, because it had 2 layers. Because essentially what you can do, instead of having them rip it off, like the second time they roof a house, they can just put another layer on it, instead of having to do the whole thing. So, but you can only have 2 layers according to the code here, so you can't like do a 3rd layer. So they just had to tear everything off. which they filled up an entire like massive dumpster that's sitting in front of the garage right now. Can't use the garage. And then it rained after they set everything up. So luckily they got it all covered, so it's all rain-proofed up there. But they don't have any of the shingles done yet because it's been raining. So just waiting.
Joseph has a question. Are your roofs mostly shingles, or why not use tiles or steel? I don't think your panels can use shingles or steel, can they?
So we do also have solar panels that are put on top of that. So
that's a good point too. Like, I just took pictures of our roof. Our house is steel. We have metal roofing. So, and our cabin has shingles. And it's too expensive to redo this roof to steel, so we just had it reshingled instead.
Makes sense.
That may be why I just took a picture. They're like, yeah, it's metal roofing, you're fine.
Oh yeah, like steel, that's not going anywhere. Like that's super good.
It's very mostly shingles there. Cost is a factor. Yeah, cost. Yeah. Yep.
And that's with the whole situation with life right now. That was definitely the way to go. Was the cheaper option. So
absolutely. Yeah, I guess it kind of just depends on where you are. They can still accommodate solar panels. Gotcha. I didn't know. I've never used solar panels before, so.
Yeah, me neither. Like, I mean, I've got them, but nobody's told me anything about them because they were put in before we got the house. So yeah. So I'm learning. I'm still learning.
It's gonna be interesting. Zeno was telling me that the guy now fixed them, and that he's gonna get all the data from 7 years worth of solar panel.
Yeah, so
that's gonna be interesting to see.
He said it would update in a couple months because it's slowly sending it over the Wi-Fi. But once it's done, I'll have like real time on the app that I can watch everything. Apparently, so I didn't know about the app. I didn't know about the Wi-Fi. So it'll be a new thing. It'll be interesting.
It's also very interesting here because we get so much snow. It never on our house. Snow never stays on the roof because even with the slightest amount of sun, it warms up the metal and the snow just slides right off. So everywhere.
Really handy.
Well, it is and it isn't because it slides right off to our deck. Yeah, right on the deck. So on two sides, there's just mounds of snow that I have to go out and shovel. And if it's wet, it freezes and it's ice, and I have to pick at it. So it is and it isn't.
I remember you doing that for like a month or so. One of those times where you just like,
I
gotta go pick at that ice again, and you just
yep,
they're picking away.
Yeah, that's just how it is. But it's also I find it really soothing and fun to listen to the rain hit it because it's so loud than a normal roof. But
I love that, actually. That sounds really soothing. I don't think Megan would like that, but I would love that. Yeah. Joey is also a nice lady. That's true.
Hacker apparently also has the app set up. And so if you want to nerd out about the data, you totally can with him, according to Christy.
Dude, I love Hacker. And then meeting him is
great.
so fun.
I'm jealous.
Like you would love him. You'd love him. He's an absolute unit. I love the guy.
Did you see his big keyboard?
No.
Here, I'll pull it. It's on Discord.
Oh, okay. Got a picture.
We were talking about it one day, and he posted it. Yeah, here it is. I think this is the best picture. It's his work keyboard. So you have reference because you know how big of a person he is. Those are his hands. So you get a sense for how big his hands are. But a single key is larger than a quarter. It's massive. Oh, you can't see it. Damn it. Hang on. Okay. Is that gonna work? There you go. It's on stream so you can see it.
There we go. Oh, look, yeah, his thumb. So his thumb, he was doing his armored combat, and a guy brought, like, I think it was an axe, full force onto his thumb, and just like it took off like a piece of bone as well. So he's got like it was a pretty bad one. He was like, it's fine. He's like, no, it happens. Like, no big deal.
It would be very hard for me not to get angry. something like
Oh,
that.
man.
I mean, it's all like
Yeah.
it's part of the sport, I guess, but
Oh, yeah.
it's still
It was one of those freak accidents
Little.
because it perfectly like the perfect amount of force to pop through his glove, because his glove should have basic protect, but it's because of the articulation on it.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Christy and Hacker are amazing. They're amazingly awesome together. Exactly. Well, before we get into the nitty gritty, I do want to. Do you need to check and see about scheduling on Monday? Or are you good to go? I was going to announce it now.
No, Monday should be good. Mhm.
Okay. Monday, Zeno and I are going to be diving back into Remnant 2 with the new DLC. I don't even remember what the DLC is called. I literally just had it up. What was it? Like Into the Wild or something?
So this
Welcome to the
Monday,
Jungle? Yes.
we'll start at normal time. I might have to go a little early if like the roofer guys have some stuff, but other than that, should be fine.
I'll be on earlier, so if you want to jump in earlier, you're more than welcome to. But if we need to end early, that's fine too. Apparently, it's gotten mixed reviews so far. It's called The Forgotten Kingdom.
Interesting.
And we'll find out for ourselves. It's $10, so it's like
Yeah, exactly.
that's reasonably priced. New storyline, new archetype, many items, powerful new bosses. Yeah.
Seems good to me.
So we're gonna
Good
hop
check
back
it.
into it because we absolutely loved the Forgotten Kingdom. Absolutely loved that game. We played it a lot. I know you and I have the same play time. Let's see how long we played it for. Over 130 hours. Yeah. So we played it quite a bit.
Played that forever.
We did.
I really actually want to go back just to go back and play it again because it's so fun.
It is so much fun. Did we? I am missing a couple trophies actually, or achievements. I was wondering if we got 100%, but I'm missing a couple. Missing 9 actually. Oh, there are 9 hidden trophies too. I wonder if those are with the new DLC. No, I don't think so. I think those are base game. Anyway, but yeah. So Monday, we'll be doing probably Stranded Alien Dawn in the morning. I was trying to think if we're gonna switch games, but no, Stranded Alien Dawn in the morning, and then we'll do Remnant 2 with Zeno.
Yeah, and I actually usually I'd have to start the 9 o'clock works so well is because I take Alex to school, but he actually doesn't have school on Monday, so
Oh, cool.
that works.
Holiday?
I think it is because they have it off. I wonder if Megan has it off too.
It's like, is there a holiday coming up I forgot about? Oh, it doesn't have it on.
Sure.
I don't know. Let us know if anyone knows there's a holiday, because I have no idea.
Yeah,
Anyway, we'll go ahead and dive into the meat and potatoes of the stream, book club time. You're not familiar?
Files.
Yeah, the Dresden Files. We are going through all of the Dresden books. We're on Full Moon. We're actually finishing Full Moon today by Jim Butcher. I was going to say Harry Butcher, but that's not his name. Jim Butcher. And so chapters 27 through 34. I was telling Zeno earlier, I read like the first 3 chapters a week and a half ago or so. So I might be a little rusty on what happened, but we'll get through it. And it'll remind me of things I forget.
So,
Chrissy will remind us. She remembers.
yeah.
I'm excited to get to the next book. I told you this last time, but I actually have a audiobook copy of the next book. Which I don't remember the name of.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I had the 3 on the cover. That's all I remember. I saw the 3 and was like, ooh, spoochy. It's a spoochy one or something.
Not Peril? Something Grave Peril? Yeah, Grave Peril. There we go.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's it.
Yep. So I'm really excited to jump into that one because I want to hear Spike read. Was his name Spike in Buffy? The guy who reads the
Angel?
audiobooks? Yeah. Well, he's in Buffy and Angel. His name was Spike. Yeah, it's the same character. But
James Marston.
Yeah, Spike. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I want to say Marston
Such a good
because
boy.
of Red Dead.
yeah.
James Marston.
Yeah, he played Spike. Yep. Okay.
Spike.
I watched a lot of Angel. I watched all of Angel. I didn't watch a lot of Buffy, and he was more in Buffy than Angel. But anyway, so starting off, in chapter 27, this is right after what happened in the previous chapter. It's right after they got away from someone.
Got away. So yeah, he got away from like the big fight in the warehouse where
Right,
the bikers
right. Okay.
are all chained up. Yeah.
The
Then everything went
Alpha.
crazy.
Yep, the Alpha Wolves / Terra / Susan rescued him. And now they're in one of the Alpha's like parents' summer homes or something. I think we start off spicy in this chapter. Yes. Yes, we do. Dresden finds his way to Susan's room. Didn't he say by the smell or something? Smell of her perfume? Something,
Yes.
something sexy
some of
like that.
Yeah, there's definitely. What's up?
And we saw.
Smell you.
Have we? We've never really seen like the FBI rush the bikers. Yeah, exactly. Yep. And the biker, I think his name was Parker. The biker, like head biker dude, died. And we saw the FBI. That's where we actually got the plot twist. The FBI agents were baddies, and they could turn into wolves. I gotta turn off this heater. But this is the first time we get to see like Harry's romantic side, if I remember correctly. Where Susan's like, we could go somewhere, we could run away, and he's like, no, I can't. We have work to be done.
Well,
And then
he,
they-
like, starts crying and then she's just like,
I'll take care of you.
kissy, kissy.
Yeah, she cleans his wounds, and then they make hanky panky. I found
His-
myself
his
killing
wounds
her.
all naked
True.
in the booth.
Mhm.
There's a lot of nudity in this one.
This book, yeah, I was
So
gonna say
much
this
good.
book is very hot and bothered. There's like Tara's always naked.
Always naked. Just naked. As a terror, she's naked.
Then the werewolf hanky, the Hexen wolf hanky panky was kind of, I don't know why I'm saying hanky panky. It just sits in my head right now. Harry stole the belt. That's right, he did steal the belt. He stole the redhead boy's belt. What was his name? Harris.
Harris, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of nudity going on.
Should be expected though with the wolfy transformationiness of everything, yeah.
Very primal, so yeah, that makes sense. Before or during or after, I don't remember. Susan says, I don't know if I want to fall in love with you, Harry. I don't know if I can stand it. Oh yeah, that's where he started to cry. He's like, I'm a pretty tough guy. I mean, look at me. And then I started to cry hard. And I was like, yep,
He'd been-
okay.
I mean, he's been like shot, beat, like all these things, and then he's just like, I'm pretty tough. I would too, though.
Yep.
Like after that, I'd just be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm gonna, yep.
He's taken
that is-
such a beating.
That is like me perfectly, like I'm totally the toughest, gruff guy. You'll never see me even grimace, and then I get with me alone with Megan. That guy was so mean to me. Not like
I watch Up and like sad Disney movies, and I'm like, why? Yeah, okay. This is before the hot and bothered. It's because she brings him a change of clothes, and God bless her ibuprofen. Yeah, and then they make sweet lovin'.
sweet lovin'.
And then after the lovin', he starts to get ready, and Susan presents him with a gift: a new duster, a badass duster, even better than
Made
the
of
one he had.
Actual leather.
Yeah, made of actual
Heavy.
quality leather. I don't remember where this happens, but doesn't he get a glimpse of
Really
himself? Maybe.
expensive, right? That'd be like
Oh yeah, he did remark about that too.
so spendy.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, so he's getting ready. And then she's like, nice, you look good. And then she starts to get ready, and he's like, what are you doing? And she's like, please, you think I'd let you go with this kind of story on the line? And he's like, oh, well, okay. Yeah. True enough. This could be the biggest paranormal event I've ever had a chance to cover. Did you expect me to stay behind? He's like, damn, I thought. And then double damn. Oh yeah, and then he catches himself in the or no, she says, have you ever thought about growing a beard? And then he catches himself in the mirror as he's walking by, and he looks just like his inner self, whatever, his conscience.
Yeah.
Except for the beard, the neatly trimmed beard. That was interesting. Then showtime. That was actually a really short chapter. Or maybe I just skipped over a lot. No, I skipped over a lot of it because it was
some hanky.
Not YouTube friendly. It's adult. But yeah, they're just getting ready for the big showdown. Now, if I remember correctly, I mean, we're gonna get to it here in a second, but Dresden like challenged the FBI. Like, if you want to end this, come to Marcone's tonight or something like that, and that's why they're there.
It was no. So
no?
What's his name? The Loop Guru.
McFinn,
yeah. So I think so. The FBI told McFinn where he was and that he did it, or like he's the one that was trying to get him or something like that. So they set him up, and he's like pissed. So he's like, "I'm coming for you, like you want to take me down?" And yeah, McFinn was just like, I'm coming to you, baby. So they're all
right,
setting it up basically so they can clean up everything at once.
I have one big final showdown. Joseph says, lots of ensuring future generations prosper. Yes, exactly. So they make their way, I think they take the van, they make their way up to Marcone's place, this big kind of grand, am I getting ahead of myself? I think this is where they're, but yep, no, okay. They make their way up to the estate, or at least the estate wall, because it's this huge like compound kind of with this mansion on a hill, kind of very I can't think of the movie, but it's just very grand and very proper for Gentleman Johnny Marcone. But it's got the big
around it,
yeah, it's got a big security wall on the outside, but it's got that inner garden with the forestry and the trees and stuff like that. But they have to get over the wall, and oh, that's right. They pull up and park the van. I was like, why did I highlight this? They pulled up and parked the van, and one by one, the alpha teenage werewolves like change. Or no, sorry, I think they run out. Let's see. Yes, they derobe and like jump out of the van, are running across the road naked, and he's like, we're on a public street, can you please be something besides naked? And because Tara did as well, they're all just running across the street naked. He's like, what the hell, people? But they get across, and Tara does like a once over kind of patrolling the outside, or tried to find a way in because the wall is just too big or too tall for them to get across. And she finds like an opening on the other side, and Harry decides that, okay, well, Tara will help Harry over the wall, and then the rest of them will run around, because with Harry is so beat up at this point, his foot has been not destroyed, but really damaged by McFinn. He's gotten shot at least once so far.
Yeah. Shoulder. So shoulder.
Yeah, in the shoulder. I'm trying to think if there's any other injuries. I mean, other than like fatigue and cuts and bruises. I think those are the two major ones.
Yeah.
But
probably a lot of other scrapes and bruises, but yeah, he's just,
oh yeah,
ugh.
Beaten to halt. Yeah,
he
was beaten by the bikers.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they beat him good.
He's in a bad spot.
Yeah. That's right. His face was all like bruised and messed up. He was like, ugh.
He's not looking too good. But Tara found a way in. But it's gonna be faster for her and the wolves to go there. So she helps him over the wall. And then they'll meet up with each other. And if I remember correctly, she like just throws him over the wall. It's not very graceful. He lands very hard on the other side. And then there was a camera, like there's one of the security cameras, and that's one. Yeah, the security camera's watching the front gate, and he knocks that out so they can get across as well, unseen. Yeah, he said he really didn't think he would be able to make it across all the way around the compound with his fatigue and his bad foot. So she heaved him halfway over the wall, and he very not so graciously falls all around the other side. He really, at this point, because he can't. Does he know that he can't do magic right now? He does. His magic is like not.
Yeah, he's like, I got nothing.
Yeah, he's running on empty. Like he summons like a wind gust, and it just goes. Eh. So it does something, but it's not to any effect. So really, all he has is his gun. That's it, actually. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's really all he's banking on.
I guess he's banking on, like he said, with Harris.
Oh.
Like, I got the knowledge at least, so I've got to use that. Because that's the most powerful. Is that my phone?
No problem. Yeah, he did say, I crouched and got up. Sorry. I crouched and got my confiscated gun ready in one pocket and took my ace in the hole in the other, getting that ready as well. But we don't know what the ace in the hole is. We'll have to figure out what that is. It was tough to fizzle the camera. That's right. Yeah. That unnerved him. Yeah, because normally he'd go up to the camera and not even have to like do anything and just go fried. Well, even with like Murphy's office, she has to turn off all the like computers and like printer before he walks in and just absolutely fries it. Chrissy was saying that he had problems, or he had a tough time to fizzle the camera out, which was also another indication that his magic wasn't doing so hot.
Yeah.
But true. when he fell over the other side of the wall, or landed, whatever you want to call it, he crouched, got the confiscated pistol in one hand, or the gun in one hand, and it says, and took my ace in the hole in the other. And we don't know what the ace in the hole is. So he has something up his sleeves, but we don't know what exactly that is. And then he just waited there. He was like, he found a quiet spot, waited, because the Team Wolf was going to come through and rendezvous with him. But the more he waited, the more he didn't hear anything, he didn't see anything, and he started getting worried. And eventually he just came to the conclusion that something was wrong. And that concludes that chapter as well. That seemed like a short chapter. A lot of build up, I think, at this point. A lot of build up to the showdown. But hey OG, how's it going?
Hey OG.
All good, man. How you doing? Oh yeah, so he's going in the next chapter, chapter 29. He doesn't come to the realization, but it like sinks in. Hey Bill, that he is alone. Like he is wholly alone. He also said it goes with it. It's not a new feeling for him to be alone, because he said that wizards of his level of skill and strength, his usual levels, that is, are well and far between, maybe no more than 24 in the United States, with a slightly higher concentration of them in Europe, Africa, and Asia. So there's 24 people in the US that are
strong,
roughly as strong as him, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, he's like super strong.
He's super strong.
I think he's only gonna get stronger, honestly, through these. Like once it gets going, you know. Yeah,
no, absolutely, totally agree. It also kind of puts in perspective of how much he's missing. If he can't do any spells right now, like how drained he actually is, that's crazy. But I also thought it was just higher. I thought it was interesting that there's a slightly higher concentration in Europe, Africa, and Asia. I thought that was interesting. Just they're older civilizations, so it makes sense that magic would be more prevalent there than here. So at least that was my understanding.
I think that's exactly right.
Yeah, and then he's kind of battling with his own, like, he says that the smart thing to do would be run and turn around and go back to the van and have Susan drive me the hell away. But it's Dresden, and he can't do that. I was here to do battle with the forces of evil, and that he shall. Which is very much on brand for Dresden. Which is actually an interesting point. It'll come up later. It's a... Oh, then he's describing what the inside of the compound looks like. He said it's something like straight out of a home garden magazine. Like it's pristine. There's like a number of different gardens. There's a bunch of like gardens that are trees. So you have tree gardens and whatnot. With the huge house that stood serene and flawless, very much like I kind of compared it to Marcone being very like flashy on the outside, but a devil on the inside. So it's like this house is pristine, it's perfect, it's beautiful, but everything that happens behind the walls are, you know, things of evil. Kind of like that.
It's set up for a reason. The way it's set up, yeah.
Yeah, there's
As
no
we learned from him later, but
yes. There's no way Dresden wouldn't fight the baddies. Exactly. That's who he is. That's what he does. So he decides to go looking for the wolves, and he makes his way through the woods, this wood garden, and finds the pack of wolves, the alphas, just in time to see one of the wolves jerk as a flash of blue feather against their fur, and the beast tumbled. So a blue feathered dart hits them, and they just crumple. I don't know which wolf it is. It doesn't say. He just sees them, and
it might
thinks
be
it's Billy.
The Billy, yeah. He thinks it
Yeah.
might be Billy from the way he's moving, but
But he's not
Who knows?
sure. And then and then he said as the beast like kind of fought to stay conscious and try to keep moving, he could see the eyes, and he said he could see Billy's eyes. So I guess he does recognize him through the eyes. And then he hears from somewhere in the bushes in the evergreens, nice shot, came a deep, tense voice as Denton appeared. Because I don't know if I'm giving it too much away right now, but that's fine. We're gonna find out in a minute anyway if I'm getting the times messed up. The shooter is Marcone. Marcone is up above in like a terrace or excuse me, higher ground with a dart gun, a very pristine with a very large scope, and a red dot sight. He's up there with big muscly dude
Hendrix.
Thank you. Yep, Hendrix. So now we know, and Marcone and Denton, the FBI, have teamed up. I'm missing something here. Oh, it's describing Denton. Okay. I was like, what's happening? As Denton comes up, they don't look like FBI agents anymore. Denton, Benz, Harris. The last one? Wilson?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's Wilson.
Will definitely W.
Either way, the FBI agents.
Sounds
They
like
don't
Wilson.
they don't look like FBI agents anymore. They've kind of, yeah, they're all getting crazy.
Pudgy
They all
middling.
kind of, yeah, the pudgy, yeah, exactly that one.
My favorite
They've all
description
kind of,
of him is later.
I think I know what you're talking about. We'll get to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it says specifically his restraints were gone. This talking about Denton. The man had become a predator. So they've all just kind of given in, which it was explained to us previously that the Hexen, the fur belt that gave him the Hexen power was almost like a drug, a very primal urge to, hunt and kill and consume. But Dresden's like surveying the scene. He sees them. He sees Marcone. He sees 6 figures that are lying, which account for all of the alphas. Wolves all paralyzed and heaps. Yep, I did get ahead of myself. Here's where it's revealed that the pair of shapes appeared and the light shone on the temple. Oh yeah, there's like a ruined temple. A lot of these like fine details I kind of lost track of. Hey T-Bale. But there's like a ruined temple there too, which I think is like art installation. I don't know. Either way, Marcone and Hendrix come out of there, so it's revealed that they're working together. And Dresden remarks internally that Marcone didn't know. He didn't know that Denton and the company were out to kill him. So it's just this like, we know as readers, and Harry knows that, oh, Marcone is gonna get the raw end of this deal at some point if everything goes to plan for Denton. Yeah, and then there's a back and forth where I think it's Ben's, but some of the no, yeah, it's definitely Ben's. They want to just rip the alphas apart and consume them in their feralness, and Marcone's like, no, like, just chill out. Let's let McFinn tear them all to pieces. And now it kind of like comes full circle. Like, oh, okay, so their plan is to blame this all on McFinn and have it blow over. At least that's what Marcone thinks. And we know that the FBI is going to probably let McFinn kill them, but also Marcone, so everyone dies to him. And if they can find Dresden, then him as well. Yeah, and then he just is, a bunch of like one-liners back and forth. Oh yeah, Ben, like, this is Marcone telling Ben to stand down, and her response is, I hate slimy scum like you. And then it describes her being very slimy and scummy as well, in a very primal, feral way. It's like, oh, geez. But Denton calms her down, which is a very recurring thing with Ben. She has such a short temper. We saw with her, and
she's lost it to the belt. So like the primal, like, is slowly, because it slowly just takes your humanity away from you, and she is just like, she's already was losing it, and she's like gone now. She's just like, for
sure. Even when Harris was giving Harry the details, he told her like she was the first one to go. Like she was the first one that lost herself to the primal urge of the belt and whatnot. And then I don't know if it's Denton. Yeah, Denton glanced over the trees and he's like, well, we still have the wizard to find. Like we still need to find Harry. He's dangerous. And Marcone is like, all right, well, you go find him. I'll make preparations. But remember our deal. You bring me Harry alive. And yeah, sure, Denton's gonna listen to him, but hey, whatever. He says, of course, Mr. Marcone, in a tone a little too polite. Do you have any suggestions of where we should start looking? And then Marcone ignored the sarcasm. Oh yeah, that's it. He's like, he turns, he flicked on the switch of his sight of his rifle and pointed it at the tree line. Over there ought to do. The red dot laser sight settled onto a leaf 6 inches to the left of my head. And it's like, oh, he pointed straight at him. Can he actually see him? What's happening? Which was a very, and of course that's the last line of that chapter is damn. That was a little too much of a coincidence. I was like, I'm
still like,
what?
Marcone's still, yeah, he's a little question marky still.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first giveaway was, there's been a lot of little things, but I think the main one for me was his knife fight. Oh yeah, no, it was in the garage. Like he handled himself a little too well for really against a biker gang, sure, but also like magical werebeasts. It's like, who are you exactly?
Yeah, he's really something. Yeah, I think he's got something up his sleeve. Maybe a couple something up his sleeves.
He might, oh, that's true. He they did mention that they saw a camera go out, so that's true. Chrissy said he might have known where the camera went out. Yeah, they did know where the camera went out, so he may have just been pointing towards the camera, which would make sense.
Really good point. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Didn't, nor did I. So I fell into a normal. I forget to make notes when I'm reading these because it gets sucked in too much of the story. So now I have to read back and like, okay, this page has no notes. What did I miss here? Because I'm sure something happened here. But the next chapter starts off with them listening to Marcone, them being the FBI, and spanning out like 30 feet apart, I think they said, or whatever, and trying to comb this this forest for Harry, and they get they're getting closer and closer, and Denton says, "Hold that! Did you hear that?" And they're like, "What?" And he's like, "Be quiet." And then they kind of proceed further and further, and Harry the whole time is like, "Well, do I run? Like, what's? I'm kind of just stuck here. What am I gonna do?" And thankfully, they haven't turned into their werewolf forms yet. I'm not really sure why they haven't. Ben
Because
seemed
Mark
to.
Cohn.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
So they don't want him to know that they are also monsters.
He already
They're
knows though.
playing him right now. Does he?
Didn't he see it
I
in the garage?
I don't think so.
the
I
biker?
think he got out before they barged
Oh
in.
yeah, because
They
he
got out real fast.
he got out in that truck with Hendrix. That's right. Okay. Oh, okay. He doesn't know yet. Still, he may still know or maybe suspect,
Doesn't it?
but that's right. He didn't see them. He doesn't know yet. Okay. That would make sense why then. Oh, sorry. Dresden did bolt. He ran looking for a specific thing, which was a place to like hide down. So he ran back till he found the specific spot he was looking for, hunkered down and waited. They came forward quietly without any lights flickering around the edges of their vision. Still in their human form, which makes me think that maybe they are like getting more and more in touch with that wolf side and like can really. It's heightening all. I think they're like not necessarily merging, but just like succumbing to the wolf side.
Has an effect on their muscles and stuff because like they're all like, well, not the fatty, but I mean the chick, she's all like jacked sounding.
That's true. She's very, because they describe it multiple times that she's very muscular. Even Denton too. Yeah, that's true. Denton probably realizes that if they shift, he loses control of the situation. Yeah, that's a very fair point.
True, yeah, their minds go completely out as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So at this point, he's hunkering down. Harry is hunkering down, waiting, and someone is getting closer and closer and closer until, and then he realizes it's Denton. I think he realizes like right when he's on top of him. And then that's when Harry makes his move by popping up and sticking the barrel of his gun in the base of his neck. And he's just like, "Don't move or I will absolutely drop you." And Denton plays. I'm kind of surprised that Denton plays along originally, but as Harry says, Denton he might be a murderer, he might be a psycho, but he's smart. He's not stupid. Like he's gonna make sure to not, for what it seems like, not act rationally. He's gonna be smart about the situation. So he convinces him to tell everyone else to go out of the tree line, and he leads Denton out to them, and it's kind of an interesting exchange too, because like even with the gun pointed in the base of his neck, base of his head or whatever, Denton's very cool, and I don't know if that, because I took that as he thinks Dresden doesn't have it in him to kill someone outright. I don't know if I'm misreading that.
I think so. Like, yeah, he's not too worried because what happens next shows like after. Yeah,
that's true.
He knows.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Yep, I forgot about that here in a second. Chrissy says that don't forget that Harry is a tall man. He's like 6'5"ish. He towers over most people. That is true. That is true. Yeah, he's leading them out. His name is Wilson, because Wilson says, "Dent, are you okay?" And he says, "Just do it." So they all listen to him. And then Harry's like, "No sudden movements. I'd hate for me to like trip and the gun go off." And he's like, "Maybe you should put the safety on then." He's like, "Damn, I hate when the bad guys have a point, but I choose to err on the side of Denton getting blown apart." And I was like, yes,
Yeah.
yes, that is very smart of you and very good. and then he gets them to the edge. He convinced them to tell everyone to put down their guns and everything. He also takes off. Harry takes off Denton's belt too, so he doesn't have his belt on him, so he can't go werebear or werewolf. But then Harry says to them, like, put your guns down. He makes some sort of command to them, and Denton like tries to reinforce. He's like, yeah, everyone put your guns down. And Harry's like, whoa, wait a minute, hang on. What are you up to? I'm immediately suspicious.
I think he has Denton tell him to drop their guns and then take their wolf belts off.
Yeah, exactly. And they're all hesitating, but Denton's like, no, you do what he says. Yeah, and then Harry just kind of gets more and more suspicious, and then Denton says to one of them, which one? Harris and Wilson, actually, step back to the trees and bring out what we left there. And Dresden's like, okay, hang on, something's definitely up.
Like,
and then
don't move, and they like smirk. Whatever.
Yeah, they're like, get your asses back here, and he's like, no. And then he's like, what are you up to, Denton? And Denton's like, well, I mean, you are heavily wounded. If you don't take your gun off me, I'm pretty sure I can overpower you. You are resourceful and intelligent, but you are also wounded, and I don't think you could overcome me hand to hand. And then Harry, and this is kind of what I expected. Yeah, werebears. I love werebears. They're awesome. Dresden tries to like reason with him, try to kind of, because we already know that Denton's kind of just off on the deep end, but I feel like Harry is just kind of grasping for those last bits of humanity, or maybe that, or maybe just trying to understand him, like why he's doing it. I'm not sure, but either way, he's like, why are you doing this? And Denton says, too many years of seeing men like Marcone laugh. We kind of already knew this, though. Someone else told us, I think it was maybe Harris, that like they were tired of the bad guys getting away and they have the power to do something about it. But Denton just saying it flat out, so now we kind of hear it from his perspective. Hate Marcone laugh at the law of seeing people hurt by him, death, misery brought out by him, and the people like him. I was tired of just watching. I decided to stop him and men like him. So just essentially taking justice into their own hands. Would this be technically vigilante justice? I guess it would.
Kind of, yeah, pretty much.
Kind of.
And then also becoming murderers themselves, though. Being just as bad as the bad guys.
Oh yeah, definitely went off the deep end and went past the vigilante justice. He does keep saying that, yeah.
Lot.
Hey Tina.
Hey Tina.
This is just more straightforward. It's true. It's more straightforward. It's also, it just reinforces the fact of why they're doing this. I also find it funny that the vein in his head keeps coming up. Like it says the vein on his forehead pulsed. And he says, after the deaths, I was warned. Oh, yeah, because Dresden asked him, like, what about the innocent deaths? And like you said, that's where necessary sacrifice came in. He said, after the deaths, I was warned about a governing body, a sort of magic police, the White Council, and you worked for them. That's interesting, because it's not true, like not fully accurate. Yes, there's a White Council. Yes, they are a magical policing body. Dresden doesn't work for them.
Definitely not directly, but he is under like their rule, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. But
yeah, so I mean, I guess it might be his duty. I'm not really sure.
He's not like I feel like Morgan works for the White Council,
yeah.
Dresden is. Yeah,
he's just. I don't know. I guess we don't have enough detail to really go on that one.
No, but and the reason I thought there was an important distinction there is because obviously someone told Denton told him this information.
Yeah,
so either
it's true.
They're trying to, one, they know about whoever told him know about the White Council, know about Dresden, and either don't know his connection to the White Council, or maybe just making it up so it makes it more
like they have to kill him. Yeah.
Right. So
this whole thing could have been set up just to take him out, technically, because some magician, powerful as they are, must be very powerful to make these belts in the first place. They can give them to these guys in where Dresden is, and they know that he's going to get involved. So maybe it was a play to get him killed.
I think you're absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, this is where Denton closed his eyes and shook, and he said, "Necessary sacrifice." And that's when they bring out their what did Harry call it? His ace up sleeve, whatever you call it. It's their last resort. They bring out Murphy. Is going. Oh no, Harry says Murphy is going to piece together what happened, and then he glanced at Harry like a mantra, yeah, necessary sacrifice, and that's when they brought out Murphy, and he realizes that, oh, they have a Mercy, and they are going to use her and probably kill her. Murphy's face was pale, yep. And then there's this like standoff, and Harry, well, Denton's trying to, like, I guess, ace in the hole. That's what he called it. Yeah, ace in the hole. Tries to, like, take control of the situation again. And it's just like, well, you can kill me, but Murphy will die either way. Even if you kill all of us, Murphy's gonna die. Best case scenario, and worst case scenario, you'll kill me, she'll die, and then they'll rip you apart. And it's like, oh, well, okay, you're in a bad spot. And then he keeps saying necessary sacrifice, almost like he's trying to justify it, or maybe just feeding into the madness. And then Harris pulls a knife out and holds it to Murphy's throat. Someone says oh yeah, and then he says, no, I won't kill another cop. Would he? And then Denton said, then Murphy dies, and orders Harris to kill her. And that's when Dresden slips up and points his gun at Harris, and he gets a shot off, I think. Yep, he gets a shot off, and that's when Denton takes him down and grabs hold of his gun very quickly. I mean, like you said, Harry's already beaten to shit, so like it won't take much to throw him off balance, and he does. He absolutely gives him a swift elbow. Oh, and then he has this weird nursery rhyme. That's right, because the last line of the chapter is "Death by nursery tale, hell's bells." He what was it? Oh, it was the big bad wolf. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I was like,
and
oh.
Puff. And below this house down, death by.
Yep. But yeah, and then that's the end of that chapter. Always likes leaving it on cliffhangers. Jim Butcher does. But we start into. It's just like, oh, you had to stop reading this right here. It's just like, oh, I want to get back to it so bad. This is the part where I just kept reading, actually, where I couldn't stop. So Dresden in a desperate panic of kind of like what to do, because he's on the ground, he's looking up at Denton with the gun pointed at his face. So he locks eyes with Denton and soul gazes, which he always said that soul, it's a two-way street. Like, they see what's in his soul, but he sees their soul, and that can be very detrimental to him as well. But he doesn't really have much of a choice, so he does it, and it's such an interesting description. Like at the very start, it says, "I can't describe what I found there very well. Try to imagine a place of beauty, of a beautifully ordered structure." And he starts describing all this, like, this beautiful kind of scenery, lush, blue sky overhead. I kind of pictured a like a little house on a prairie or something, just like wide open fields, lots of flowers, things like that.
I was thinking like presidential in my head, kind of like the.
Oh, okay.
The
like the White House. Oh,
like
okay.
Just that that open field area where just the monument is, and because like just like a nice structure or something, maybe like a obelisk type thing. Everything's very symmetrical, but very clean, very nice.
I thought of a house when he said structure, but I like yours more. That makes more sense. But whatever, it's kind of, and I think that's the beauty of the way he wrote this, is it's just like it's vague enough. Yeah, it's vague enough that it can be whatever you want it to be, but also all of us kind of have similar pictures. Like we get the same, like it's serene, it's order, it's beauty, and we kind of all call them to that same conclusion. And then you add a couple hundred years of wear and tear to whatever you're picturing. It being overgrown, what do you say, like decrepit, skeletal rose vines, because everything kind of just decayed. And then you add a layer of, I think he just called it sludge, which is just, sticky black sludge. The sludge makes things stronger and more bitter, more rotten, more putrid, all at the same time. And that was Denton inside, a good man jaded by years and poisoned by the power. Just such a beautiful description, because it's like you have the good man or good person, which would be the like beauty and the serene part, then jaded by years, which would be the decay, and then the poisoned by power, which would be the sludge. So it's such a good visual representation of him, essentially.
I really like that, because it was kind of starting off with like the prettier and nice, and then he just started twisting it till like the whole image that he gave you is just like dark and sludge and decrepit.
Absolutely. Hey Mustafa, how's you doing, dude?
Hey Mustafa.
It kind of describes anyone who gets like drunk with power. At least I feel like most people, or maybe even like drug users. Like you start out like, just normal, a person, beauty, and then you get withered by it, poisoned by it. So I just thought, cool.
I think that's accurate. Absolutely.
And as for like and he said this with Marcone as well, even just with the Soul Gaze in general, he doesn't know what people see in him. We got Marcone's reaction, which was interesting, but it did, and most people can't handle the Soul Gaze very well, to some being just passing out. Susan just passing out. Others just being like visually nauseous about it or something.
Right back.
Yeah. But yeah, the Soul Gaze is a very interesting. I also really like the soul gazing from a like a storytelling aspect too. It gives a lot of insight to the characters with one another as well, in a different way of, because like it could have been like a flashback or something like that, but it being Soul Gaze is just a really cool writing style.
And I really like how Denton, his reaction here is really good.
Yeah, because it bought him a few seconds. Yeah, Denton stared at me as the Soul Gaze broke when it was released. Shut up, phone. He wasn't reacting well to whatever it was that he had seen inside of me. His face had gone white, his hands were trembling, the barrel of the gun wavering every which way. He lifted his other hand and mopped the beads out of his cold sweat away from his face. No, Denton said, white showing all around the gray irises of his eyes. No, wizard. He raised his gun. I don't believe in hell. I won't let you. And I was like, what the? Boy Butcher allows for insights into characters as a drink. Yeah, it's very cool. It's a different. I've never seen like a writing style or a storytelling style like that. But yeah, that the reaction of "I don't believe in hell, I won't let you." I was like, and then he screamed, and then on top of his lungs, "I won't let you." So, not exactly sure what he saw in Harry, but
yeah,
It was
He saw
intense.
that he is not. Yeah, he's not somebody you should be messing with whatsoever.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
He's
And then
really lucky he's
Marcone,
out of power.
and then
Jeez.
Marcone said yes. Said a calm voice, "You will." And a bright red dot appeared on the right in the middle of Denton's chest, and it was Marcone with his dart gun or whatever. That's crazy that Marcone saw the same thing, and Marcone had such a different. Well, now, okay, Marcone we do know is a much. I was gonna say
Darker person.
strong. He is darker, and I was gonna say stronger, but
very
that's not the right word. More really mentally
Yeah,
fortified.
his his mental fortitude is like gotta be through the roof. I mean, he didn't brush it off necessarily, but he didn't like have anybody else's react. Like anybody else that sees us like freaked out after they see what Harry has inside of him.
Yeah, yeah. Also more mature too. That's true. Yeah. But yeah, that was enough time, and Marcone landed a dart right in his chest. Gave him time to slink away. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, sorry, there was a standoff with Marcone and then Marcone then said his back straightened and his eyes narrowed. "You treacherous scum." Yeah, he's like, "We had a bargain. You told me that he was gonna you were gonna give Harry to me and all of that, and oh, and then Marcone tried to reason. Seems like everyone's trying to reason with Denton, but he's just not gonna have it. He said, "Let McFinn kill him when he arrives." And then he's like, "Are you dumb enough to use your own weapons? Like, why would you kill him with your own weapons? That's just gonna, like, that's not gonna end well for you." And I think at that point, oh no, that's right, because Denton says if he arrives, and then Marcone said, "My spotter's somewhere outside." It wasn't terribly close. Either way, they saw animals that animals running away from a certain direction that was just kind of
Freaking out.
yeah, and that was confirming that Finn was on
Which
his way.
is- Again, Marconi like knows things like pretty well. Like he knows what to look for. That's crazy.
I'm very curious to see what happens with Marcone, because he's not he can't be just this mob dude. He has to be so much more. At least it really
I
seems like it.
guarantee. So one theory that I have is, you know, the whole demon thing where he's trying to like get Harry's soul for the
Yeah.
information. I bet Marcone sold his soul for like something. Like he's got some power. He's got to get that position, like something. He did something where his soul is sold already, and something like that. I don't know.
What if
That's
he is a
just theory.
what if he is a devil or demon? Because
Yeah, something, right?
he constantly wants to make deals. He's trying
Mhm.
so hard to make a deal with Dresden. He made a
Ooh,
deal
that's
with Denton.
Maybe he just is
Yeah.
like from the Fae or something. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
he couldn't. They don't have. He does have a soul because he soul gazed him.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
he
that's
is
true.
somebody's
Because creatures of the Never Never don't have
souls, right?
souls.
At least as far
least
as we know. I don't know.
yeah,
There could be some offshoots of that, but
Because Toot didn't. Tara doesn't.
and usually, and it sounded like from the bargain, like you keep your soul while you're alive, but once you die, it's there.
Yes. Oh,
So
that's
he would
true.
still
Yeah,
have a soul.
he could. Yeah, that's true. That's interesting. Maybe. I never thought about that before, but it makes total sense now too. I wonder if, because I think, oh man, I don't remember the demon, the demon, not the toad demon, the one that Dresden makes used to make deals with. I don't remember his name, the posh one.
Yeah, what's his name? Chauncey.
Yeah, Chauncey. I might be misremembering this, but I feel like he said that demons can also they want your soul. They want to make a deal with your soul, but they can also use other people or other beings to make deals on their behalf. I wonder if maybe he is a henchman of some demon, and that's why he likes making deals too. I don't know. Just a thought. Just piggybacking off your comment. What was trying to make sure I don't get this out of order. Yeah, okay. So at that news, knowing that McFinn is demon broker, yeah, kinda, yeah, exactly. At this point, knowing McFinn is on his way, Denton almost seems to like drop his facade. It's like, well, I don't really need to I don't know, play these games anymore with you, Marcone. We're pretty much at the end of our deal. And he turns his gun and just unloads into Hendrix, because Hendrix is standing there with probably, I think his fully automatic weapon or whatever he has, and just lays Hendrix out to the point where, and this dude's so big that Dresden, he snapped back, landed flat on his back, and Harry said, or yeah, I think it's Harry. Yep, Harry said that I felt the earth when his massive body hit the ground. This dude is huge. Like, they keep, well, in my mind, well, if we talked about this back on the last stream where they had the fight in the garage and they were driving out the truck, and I said in my mind it looks like an Ogren just sitting in the back of the truck. Yeah. I just keep getting that idea that he's just a huge Ogren. Yeah, NFL linebacker, pretty much. But
I would assume he's about 400 pounds. If you compare it to like strongmen, that size, he's probably about 400, 500 pounds.
I don't know if they gave us a height other than just towering.
Yeah.
Like when we first met him.
Yeah, he's massive.
I think we met him in the first book, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So it was a while ago, but yeah, at that point, kind of all hell breaks loose. Well, not to the degree it's going to, but let's see. Moments. Harry was trying to slip away. That didn't go well. Oh yeah, that's when Ben's just kind of blocked him. A muscle and says here. Oh yeah, she stood over him and kicked him in the shoulder that he got shot in, and it's just like, okay, was that really necessary?
She's such a butthole. Yeah,
she really is. And then Dresden kind of like is teetering unconscious. He says, I remember dragging me across the grounds, so they oh yeah, he got dragged back to, like, there's a circle of pines, like, that are, I don't know if it's a half circle or just full circle, but they kind of just like block off this area of the grounds, which he remarks that it would make a really good sound barrier for, let's say, gunshots, that you wouldn't even hear them outside of the premise of the building or the compound, which is right.
I got a great picture for it. So you started breaking up on my side.
Oh, did you?
Fine in stream though, but you're breaking up, and in the picture of you, like, I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay.
You were stuck in this position for like a good 30 seconds.
That's funny. I'm just frozen mess.
Yeah, it's like weird. It looks like a weird Picasso painting.
It does, yeah. Because I'm rocking back and forth, so I'm constantly moving. How you doing, Shania? Good morning. It's a bit like Reacher with red hair. I forgot Hendrix had red hair.
Yeah, freaking Reacher. Yeah, he is that big. Reacher's so. Oh, I love Reacher so much.
Oh, okay. Sorry. 1 second. I have to step away just for a moment. I will be right back.
You good?
Talk about Reacher while I'm gone. I'll be right back.
All right. I love Reacher. Everyone's seen the second season, hopefully, so I don't spoil anything because it's amazing. Shania, how you doing? Let's see. Okay. All right. You've seen it. All right. Okay. Because it was really good. And the chick that's in that one, I think she's she's pretty hot. So I did like their little love story too. I think I liked the girl in the first season better though. I don't know, something about her. She's just, don't really like blondes, but she was a cutie. They've set the cast for season 3. Oh, thank goodness, yes. More Reacher is good. I can't, the amount that he has to eat, or the amount of calories he has to eat just to maintain his size is like crazy. He is so big. I love it though. The guy's a beast. Like, he's one of those crazy workout enthusiasts where he's like, I gotta work out so hard, and if I'm alive, I didn't go hard enough. I didn't die. So, like, hey. Appreciate it, Shania. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Yeah, well, and I won't be streaming until Monday, but me and Mozzie will be playing Remnant 2 together on Monday morning, during his morning stream hours. It should be a lot of fun with the new DLC. Kind of just waiting for Path 2 to come out. I'm really excited for Path 2. I'm not sure. I love Path of Exile. It's a fun game. It is not for everybody because yeah, it's like 10 years old and they updated it, but boy, is it like you need like a PhD to play the game. At this point, it's just way too much. So Path 2 is what I've been waiting for like everybody else to like Path, because I love Path and I would love to share it with everybody, but it's too complicated and I don't want people to play that one, honestly. I'm just waiting for Path 2 so then I can really show that off, because I think everyone's gonna love it, since they've done a lot of things, at least in the process of creating this, that I myself, if I put myself in their shoes as a game developer, right? This is what nerds do in their off time, right? You think about how you would make a game and how you would make it better. Anyway, so I've done this since I was a kid. But yeah. Oh, there's Mozzie. Never mind. We'll get into it.
I'm back. Sorry. What were we getting into?
Back. I was just talking about game development and Path 2 and stuff like that.
It's just in general, or was something going on with Path?
The reason I think it's gonna be good. It's about a month away for Path 2, so because they said it was gonna be in beta in June. So.
I was gonna ask if that's full release or beta. I have to check out beta then.
It is gonna be full, like all of the game though.
Oh, okay.
He said the ending's gonna be in there and everything, so I'm like, okay. But
I meant to ask you.
Lost Judgment's amazing. Oh
what
my gosh,
is that? So I saw you playing it, but I don't know what it is.
Okay, so super cool. You know the Yakuza games?
Yes.
So it's another offshoot of that, where it's one of their more recent ones. So it's the same setup in the same city, like style of game, but there's more to it since you're not a Yakuza, you're a detective.
Oh yeah, okay.
So it's like, it's got a bunch of detective mystery. So like the game started out super cool, where it was like, hey, you have like friends from the first game, because there's Judgment, which is the first one, and then there's Lost Judgment is actually the second one. And you go to investigate this school bullying case for like some of your friends that you met in the first game, because they started their own little detective agency in this other town. And there's this murder that you get like keyed into, and apparently it has stuff to do with the school. So like, while you're there investigating, you're like, oh, there's this murder and all this other shady stuff that's happening, and it's all possibly connected. And it's like, oh, it's really cool so far.
That sounds interesting. The Yakuza games always looked cool, but I don't have really much interest in Yakuza and Japanese gangs. Like, it's never something that's been very interesting to me. Even the Mafia, like, I was like, Mafia's okay, but I don't find it interesting.
So
that sounds interesting.
That's why I really liked it. So Judgment is the first one, and it's actually on sale right now, pretty cheap. I think it's like $10-15. If you like action games, because it's kind of like a action beat 'em up, but it has little elements of being a detective, so you have to be like stealthy and wear disguises and pick locks and things like that.
We're going off the rails, and I don't care, but just a heads up. So I was watching Blacky Black play the Yakuza games, and one of the Yakuza games, and it wasn't a beat 'em up. It was like a tactical kind of turn-based
yeah.
game. What is
So
that?
that's
Is it the
that's the
same?
other one. I actually just tried it. I have had it for a while, but I haven't tried it. And it's called Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Right.
Um, and it's kind of they were kind of handing the torch from the main guy, because he's just getting old at this point. Kiryu's the
Okay.
main guy in the other ones, to another character. So they kind of like set him up, but he likes to think of fighting like Dragon Quest. This is what he says in the game. Like, I like Dragon Quest,
Mm,
so I like to be the
okay.
hero, and that's the way I take these battles in my head. So he
So the
pretends
game
like,
style is different.
yeah. So the game style is all Dragon Quest turn-based. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Because I thought the Yakuza games were like beat 'em up over the top style. And I saw that and I was like, okay, that's not the same game style. What's going on
Totally
here?
different.
So
There's MP and stuff, and you get 4-man like in a party, like a 4-man party, and it's
I saw one of the characters was like busted out a grill and started cooking food and they cast a healing spell. And I was like, what is this? Another guy
Yeah.
has like a turbo surfboard and like did a whirlwind attack. And I was like,
my goodness.
what is happening? So
I haven't gotten
Okay.
too far, but yeah, like one of the only the second guy. So I've gotten just 2, and the second guy I got was a hobo, and he has like a umbrella. He beats him with an umbrella.
Okay, sure. Yeah, there's quite a few games actually on sale right now. That that I was looking at. I also got an email that Phoenix Point is on sale. It's actually made by the makers of the first XCOM. It's really good. The one time I played it, it was so hard. The game is very, very difficult. But they added quite a bit to the game in terms of, I don't know if it's just general DLC. Some of it's base game and some of it's DLC from what I've seen. Yeah, it's like 65% off. It's not bad.
Mm.
Anyway, back to Dresden. Been looking at Harvestella. It's half off, so finally grabbed it. Nice. I love and hate Steam sales at the same time because I just end up buying things that I never play, but I hopefully will get to some.
Yeah, that's really what the Yakuza games are. I've got every single one of them now, except for no, I have every single one of them except for the newest one. Yeah.
I have so many games. I have a couple games that were gifted to me that I've never played, like Code Vein, I think is the one.
Oh, you'd love it too.
I know I
never played
would.
it.
At least I figured.
Yeah, because it's like a Souls-like but anime style.
Right, and I was like, yeah, sounds great. God, I need to get off Steam because I see that
Yeah.
there's a Smite beta, Smite 2 beta sign up. There's also a Gray Zone Warfare beta that's going to be coming out soon. There's just so much stuff coming out soon. Now we have the P2E beta. Just get overwhelmed. Put it on the wheel.
Yeah.
So the problem with the wheel is some of these games are story games, and the wheel I think is really good for like one-off games. Although having said that, the last game we played on Friday, which was a wheel game, was Chaos Gates, and that's a story game. I might just do it anyway. But yeah, like, so do you remember? Sidetracked again. Do you remember the Witcher game that was based in that world, but it had a bunch of stories and conflicts that had to be resolved with Gwent or resolved with Gwent?
Yeah, the Gwent game. Yeah, it was just Gwent, I think. Like something like that. I feel like, unless it.
What was it called? There was just the Gwent game, but there
Yeah.
was another
Oh,
one.
there was a side thing, right? Okay.
Mm,
Gwent, the card game. Gwent, Rogue Mage.
that's
Oh.
the single player Gwent. Where is it?
Huh.
Thronebreaker.
Ooh.
It's called Thronebreaker: The Witcher Tales. it's a bunch of characters and stories based in the Witcher world, and the artwork. I'm actually gonna move over my screen so you guys can see this.
That's good.
The artwork style is so cool. I picked it up when it was on sale one time.
That does look cool. Wish list.
Yeah, it's so cool. Oh yeah, I think it goes on sale quite a bit. But yeah, I really recommend it, and I've always wanted to get to it because it's one, I love the world of Witcher. It's just a cool world in general. I love Gwent, like it's a fun game. So the fact that you mix the two, you mix an RPG, a story RPG with Gwent as a like how you resolve all your conflicts, I just thought was awesome. I don't know, is it made by oh yeah, it is made by CD Projekt Red. I was gonna say I don't know if another team made it or something, but no. It's just a little project they made after Gwent. I feel like it went unnoticed. It has so many very positive reviews.
Yeah. This looks awesome.
Yeah, that one, and there's another game called Ash. Ash of Gods? Yeah, Ash of Gods. This is another game that's like a grid turn-based game that's very heavily story-driven, but the artwork in it is so cool. Another one that I picked up a long time ago and I really want to play. It has mostly positive reviews, but apparently 13 mixed reviews currently. Not sure what that's all about. Yeah, that art style is just so cool. Anyway, those are some games that are on the wheel. Love a good sale, right, Wander? Can't go wrong with a good sale.
Yep.
Especially the Steam sales. Probably gonna get a Steam summer sale. No, yeah, summer sale soon. That's the wrong screen. Disregard that. Switch to the wrong screen. Sorry. Switch to ending now screen. People may not have been able to. Yeah, it's an older game too, so maybe some recent reviews were just like, "This game's old." Man, I don't know. Hard to say. I have to look at them. But I have seen some gameplay on that one a while ago. I don't remember who I watched play it, but immediately I was like, "That looks awesome," and I bought it. So it's sitting in my library forever. Summer sale is June 27th. Oh, okay. It's like right before our vacation, so I probably won't buy anything. Just before your birthday. Oh, it's a little bit before my birthday too. Do you have a June birthday or July birthday? I have a July birthday. Oh yeah.
Sorry, talking to the wife.
Oh, you're good. We're just talking about Steam summer sale is June 27th. Oh, Christie's is June 30th. Okay. Mine's mid-July.
My birthday's June 9th.
We're all summer birthdays.
Oh, just sweet. Yeah.
Discord just froze? What happened? You guys still hear me? Yeah, you can still hear me.
Yep.
Yeah, Discord just froze for me. Both our cameras froze. Trying to restart it.
Yeah.
Pop. Pap. Richie says, "Hi, Megan."
Yeah, she ran off so quick, and she's already on the next errand. So I missed telling her, but I'll tell her when I see her again.
I need to close Discord. 1 second. Shit, it won't even look. It won't even let me close Discord.
Oof. Technical difficulties.
Try and force close it, I guess. Boom. Let's try and reopen it. YouTube had hiccups too. Strange. Hear me? Hello? Yellow? You hear me?
Yes.
This thing is acting up. Fierce. What's going on?
So,
Okay.
Just doesn't want to be working for you.
Guess not. Looks like it's working now though. Okay. Oh, I actually have the new. I haven't made that one. I did make the. Well, I'll save them. I made commands, new commands. I have not uploaded them yet though. I made pie one. I made pie, blue dog, need to save, and nerds. So I have 4 new ones. They're not up yet, so
Nice.
I will upload them to over the weekend, and we'll have them ready to go for Monday. Just
Monday,
a little
Monday,
pinch,
Monday.
yeah. Pinch.
There will be needs of save and.
All right,
Because we go hard.
we do go hard. Earth go hard. Where the hell did I leave off? Denton said, and he pointed a gun at Hendrix and started pulling the trigger. Sorry.
Bam, 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 bam. Yep, shot him down. He
Da-da-da-da.
fell over, thud.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then they drug everyone over to the tree circle. Book club isn't time for gifts. Well, I mean, it is. It's always time for gifts. Like,
True.
there's never not time for gifts. But I just didn't have time. So something happened last night that I stopped working. There, not to get into too much detail, and we're derailing the stream again. Who cares? It's our stream. We do what we want with it. There's a cove over that way, that is named after the people who live there. Well, they don't live there. They have like property there, and they can they go there in the summer and whatnot. I hesitate to say their name. I don't know why, but actually they're assholes. It's called Buckle Cove. And it's a ways away, but they don't have access to it via road, so they have to either take the front trail or take a boat to get to it. But the front trail is just washed out because the ice just melted, so the water level rose, so they can't drive over there. Last night at midnight, they tried to drive over there, and couldn't. So they parked their truck directly in front of our house and came by with a side-by-side and came and got their stuff and then went back out. But the reason I didn't do much work last night is because I didn't know if they were going to try and knock on the door for help, because we didn't know if they were stuck or not. So I just turned everything off and went up and waited and watched. But again, like I said, they're assholes. And honestly, if they asked for help, I'd probably tell them to go pound sand, because they've made multiple... They've given... There's a lady nearby. She's actually battling cancer right now. They give her nothing but hard times, to the point where I think they've gotten yelling matches before. They leave trash up behind our place all the time, because instead they usually take that back road and they park up there and just leave their car up there. They've blocked our boat ramp multiple times, where they'll just leave the car there like over the weekend because they go off, and we've told them not to park there and they just don't listen. So anyway, midnight is always a great time to ask for stupid stuff. Oh yeah, and I'm sure, no doubt, he was inebriated. I don't know if it was multiple or just the one dude, but I'm sure that they were drunk. And when we saw them, because we saw them come back with a side-by-side, and we saw them load cases of beer in the side-by-side and the coolers and stuff and drive back out, and we're like, yeah, of course they're just inebriated. But anyway, sounds very inconsiderate. Yeah, it absolutely is. They also purposely park in front of our neighbor's driveway because they know it pisses him off. They're just assholes for no reason.
They're just jerks for just to be jerks. What the
Mhm.
what is wrong with them? We
Mhm.
hate people like that.
I've said, I hesitate to say this on stream, so we'll scrub the evidence later, but I've said, because we live on a hill, our driveway is slanted, and the water, the boat ramp's at the bottom, which actually makes it really easy. But since they parked right there, and we have a bunch of big logs that haven't been cut yet, I'm not gonna... Is that the new one? Yes. I'm not gonna stop a rolling log from, you know, it would be unsafe for me to try and stop the log from rolling down the hill. And if their car happens to be at the bottom, oh no.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's actually really cool to see. I think did I get a picture last time? I'll look later, but the guy who delivers the wood, he brings it on one of those trucks. I can't remember. Yeah, they would have to be long ways, but he brings it on a truck that has on the back one of the like grabbers, like the metal pincers. So you just climb up into the cab and you can control the pincers, and he stacks those logs so expertly. It's like, it's satisfying to watch him do it. It's so cool.
I love that.
Logs are heavy and gravity's a bitch. It's true. It's true. Gravity's a bitch.
Thank you, Tina. Tina gifted me 2 Point Hospital. That's all
Tina.
nice.
That's nice.
I love that game. Thank you. I've been wanting to play that for a while.
That's a fun one. Okay. Back to the story. Discord froze again. Can you guys hear me? Do you know you're there?
Yes, I'm here. I hear you very well.
Okay, well, Discord froze again.
Hold on, let me. Oh, I can hear us on stream, yeah.
Well,
They might have to deal with those eyes. I love it.
oh, I closed it on a, okay.
That's fine. I kind of looked like what's his name on the late night show.
Now you no longer have to procrastinate about getting it. There you go. Looks sleepy. I did. Xeno looks drunk.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I was like, ooh.
Well, I guess we're just gonna do this no cam style. Actually, I can just put, oh no, I can't put a picture. I can put a picture of me up. Hang on. No, I can't because it's sent. Anyway, we're just gonna leave it on the screen. You guys are just gonna listen to us. Because I don't know what's going on with it. Anyway, Xeno DLCs are on sale too. I saw the DLCs were on sale as well. I was looking in there. Tarkov does attempt to put out the fire. Oh wait, hang on. Derailed again.
Yeah,
what did they? What
one.
did they try? Attempt to put out the fire caused by $250 pay to win by giving everyone access to the exclusive game mode for 6 months only. They can go fuck themselves. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No one. Oh, that bugs me. That bugs me. Did we lose Xeno? May have lost Xeno. I think we lost Xeno. They can stick that offer right where the sun don't shine. I don't like using profanity too much, but my God, I put the article in gaming. Thank you, Christy. I want to read that so bad. Because they are absolute morons. 6 months or 6 months only? No, absolutely not. That's like a drug dealer. They're like, well, you know, we'll give you a taste, and then 6 months later, yeah, Discord bounced me. I think it might be my computer. No, I don't think it's computer, actually. This is running just fine. Hey there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're just not going to do the webcam. I think it's just messing up my Discord.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I'm just going to turn the webcam off. Did you see? I'm assuming you saw that message. Yeah, you saw the message from Christy. 6. Did you? When did I cut out? Did my rage cut out, or did you hear my response to it?
Yeah, no, I missed the rage. Yeah, you were about to go off, and it was up.
I did go off. They can go stuff it.
Yeah, they can stuff it for sure.
6 months only is an absolute travesty, and they're out of their goddamn minds if they think that people are gonna. I really hope people aren't like, oh, that's you know, okay, that makes sense. I feel like people aren't gonna do.
That is some bold bullshit that they're pulling.
Yeah. God, I want to read the backlash of this. There's gonna be so much. Let's go ahead and wrap this up because I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with Discord. It might kick me again. So they drag all the they drag Murphy, they drag Harry, they drag Marcone. Well, those two first, Harry and Murphy, off to these trees, and Harry feels the sensation of falling into this water, which he remarks feels actually kind of good on his busted shoulder, and then he feels like the mud beneath, and he slowly realizes that he's in a pit. And Murphy's there and is like asking if he's okay, and he was like, I thought you were dead. And she was like, yeah, me too. And yeah, they come to find out they're at the bottom of this enormous pit. Enormous pit, a square maybe 20 feet deep and twice that across. Muddy water, maybe from the rain, covered the bottom of the pit. So they're stuck in this pit, and they're trying to figure out what are they gonna do, like what kind of situation are they in. Oh, and then Murphy says, I always wind up in the nicest places when I hang out with you, Dresden, which is, one, is funny. I love that. Two, it's the first time since the first book that they had their witty banter again. And I'm just like, oh, maybe everything's okay now. Well, not really okay, because they're in a pit and they're probably gonna die. But maybe everything's okay.
And then she's like, Grumbo again.
Yeah, and then she's grumbly again.
I gotta get you all behind bars. Sort this out. Come on.
Oh yeah, and then there's a voice that says she had help. Someone said in a slurred, heavy voice, "For all the good it will do." And then we find out Tara and all the alphas are here in the pit too, which is, it's kind of a sad sight. Tara's has her back up against the wall. Bounce him to 3 to the to toss. Yes, exactly. And she has all the alphas' heads on her lap because they're all like sedated, so she's keeping them above the water, and it's just kind of very sad. Yeah. And the like the look on her face is just like accepted defeat. Like there's just no way out of this situation for her and the alphas and all of them really. And then so it's this pit, and this is where it got a little hazy for me because I couldn't really understand how to picture this because they kept saying something about a hunting hut or something.
It's like a hunter platform with like kind of like a rope bridge holding it up in the center. So I'm guessing that's where Marcone was sniping from originally. But it sounds like it's a big enough platform so like you could be up there. Yeah, so it's just kind of like a big floor, like in the middle of the air, kind of it just being held up. Because it's big enough because they were thinking, that.
Because the next part, they look up and Marcone is bound and hooked to the bottom above this pit. In my mind, I pictured a what are they called? It's a deer rack. It's where you string up a deer to butcher them, to gut them and clean them. I pictured that above the pit. But if it's a hunting blind and he's attached to the bottom of the hunting blind and he's dangling in the pit, then that makes more sense. Because I was a little confused of how there was a hunting blind or hunting thing there, but he was also hooked and dangling above the pit. Like, it didn't make sense in my mind, but now that makes more sense. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then they come to the realization that okay, Marcone has just strung up his bait, and this pit was initially and kind of still actually intended for McFinn.
Yeah.
I don't think a 20-foot pit would actually do it for him, but anyway.
Sure shouldn't.
We saw him go through buildings. Like, I don't think a pit's gonna stop this dude. But anyway, just want to make sure I don't miss any details before I get to the next part. Yeah, and then in the situation, just being in this pit and trying to figure out what, how to get out and stuff. Murphy says, "I've done some thinking, Dresden. I've decided that there's a reasonable chance you aren't involved with these killings," which I thought was just hilarious because even more of their banter. I just really enjoy their banter to begin with. And why does Marcone have a pit? Oh yeah, for McFinn for sure. Oh, why does he have a pit in general? Well, it's for Mark. Am I going robot-y?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, I saw Discord dip a little bit. It dipped again. Stream should be able to hear me, but if you don't hear me, if I cut out, just let me know to.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
Actually, hang on. I know how to fix this. This happened the other day too. 1 second. I have to run Discord as administrator. I should fix it. I don't know what's going on with Discord. I feel like it's just Discord. Actually, I don't know if it is just Discord because I got yeah, why wouldn't Marcone have a pit? I think it's his killing pit, but they repurposed it to a McFinn pit. Or maybe it that actually might be a good point. Maybe it wasn't originally for McFinn. It's just being repurposed for McFinn. Okay, hopefully that's better. This happened the other day, and I had to close it and run Discord as an admin. I was having some issues with Destiny earlier when we popped in. We were just chatting. So I don't know if it's just Discord or something's going on with my internet. Stream seems to be fine, according to everyone. They can hear me. Have you guys had any hiccups in terms of like video quality at all? Christy, Wander, have you seen any? Bill? I mean, we'll trudge on. I'm just curious.
I haven't noticed any. I've just had it on my screen the whole time.
Okay. Minor ones. Okay, nothing out of the ordinary though. Okay. Good here. All right, yeah, it's probably just Discord then. Yeah, so it's great to see some banter with Murphy and Harry again.
It's such a dire pit.
Yeah, and such a dire. Well, I mean, it also might because they think they're about to die, or she thinks they're. Well, no, they probably both are thinking it's maybe their last chance. But she does say that she doesn't trust him, but she still likes him. I still like you, Dresden, but I can't trust you. That's what she said.
Yeah.
Which is kind of understandable because she just can't trust anyone right now. She thought she could trust the FBI, and they've turned out to be Hex and Wolf murderers. So she's being investigated by the investigation bureau or whatever. So even her own people think she's corrupt. So she's probably just in a really bad position where she just can't trust anyone, or she feels like she can't trust anyone. But it's understandable.
Yeah, she's had like a hard, good year or so, it sounds like. Yeah, so everything's just been going sideways, so it's frustrating.
It's true. It's very true. And then Harry's just kind of self-reflecting, like, this is all my fault, and because one of her fellow cops talked to else. Yeah, she also lost her partner.
Yeah.
Yes, oh my God, what is his name?
Harris?
Carmichael.
No, Carmichael. God dang, Harris is a nerd.
Harris is a nerd. No, Carmichael is no longer amongst the living, which honestly hurts me more than I thought it was going to. I'm actually sad to see him go. I really was starting to like him.
Yep.
But yeah, Harry's doing some self-reflection and is just like, I need to get out of here. And he says, he actually says, I need to get out of here. I told Murphy, get me out of here and maybe I can do something. So they're kind of looking at the walls. They're like, maybe we can dig out climbing holds, and that's not happening. And he oh yeah, he yells up at Carmichael and are you dead? But no, he's conscious, and they have
Marcone?
Sorry, Marcone.
Mr. John.
Mr. Gentle. John? Be seeing you, John. He's like, no, they found my. He was like, do you still have your knife on you? He's like, no, they found my knife, and he's like kind of wiggling around and like trying to get like something, and he's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm trying to get a hold of the knife that they didn't find, and it's like, okay. And he's able to cut a rope, and again, I kind of like lost track. I didn't know what was happening with the rope. I thought he cut himself down. I went robot-y. I saw that.
So I think he got to like the hunter blind, and the ropes suspending that. He was able to cut one of those free to come down.
Yes. Yeah. He was able to cut a rope that was attached to the blind down so they can climb up. Because something happens later, and I was like, he's still there? Because I thought he got freed, but no, he doesn't. He is not able to free himself. He's able to cut a rope for them to get down. Where Dresden starts climbing up, and he's gonna swing across and try and jump onto or jump from the rope onto the top of the pit and climb up. And where is it? Before they get to that part, Murphy's like, I guess it could be worse. And then he turns his head slowly, and he sees McFinn in his Loop Guru form, crouched at the lip of the pit, huge, gnarled, and muscled, and deadly. And it's looking at Marcone, and Dresden's trying to like not make a sound, and he does, and he snaps to him, and he recognizes in his eye. Well, he's able to tell that even in the Loop Guru form, it recognizes and remembers Dresden. So he kind of just locks onto him, and he's like, "Oh, it's you." And immediately Dresden's like, "Okay, this has definitely gone from bad to worse." Even with the last, even the last line, he said, "You had to say that," saying it to Murphy. You had to say it could get worse. Let's see here, and that's the end of chapter 31. On to chapter 32. Things get a little worse. Let's see here. Did I save my notes? Well, yep. Okay, I got the order wrong. Marcone did not cut anything yet. They saw the Loop Guru first. Now they're shouting up at Marcone. And that's when they have their banter back and forth. He's able to get he's reaching for the knife that they didn't find. So sorry, strike that, reverse it.
Yeah, I totally forgot to. Huh?
I forgot. I updated the thumbnail, but I didn't update. I thought I updated the title too. Did I not? Guess not.
Oh, yeah, 21, 26, yeah.
Bad. 27 to 34. Thank you, Christy. Completely missed that. Okay, and that's where he cuts the rope down, and they're able to climb up. And Dresden remarks, because they do have their witty like banter back and forth. And he remarks that he had to admire the raw courage of a man to banter while dangling up there like a ripe peach. I was like, yeah, that's true.
Peaching it up there.
Talking about the rope. It says it whipped out toward Marcone, lost momentum. Hang on, let me read it back. Yeah, the rope. That's okay. It's just in describing the rope that it dangled through. Dresden grabbed the rope, both hands, and started. It's funny that he started climbing this quote unquote like a monkey. Even in his damaged state. I guess the adrenaline's just kicking in now, because seeing the the Loop Guru so close. But he starts scurrying up. Dresden and Marcone's like, Dresden, he shouted, look out. In Dresden's haste and just kind of like pure focus of escaping this pit, forgot about the Loop Guru, or just wasn't really like paying attention, and he came face to face with the thing, and it leapt out towards him, where Dresden had to let go of the rope to fall down to dodge it, and then grab back onto the rope, and the Loop Guru just kind of like soar across the pit from one side to the other, missing him. And then, which it was very close. And then that gave Dresden enough time to scurry up the rope and jump, attempt to jump up on the ledge, and ended up just like smacking it into his chest and like scrambling up. Yeah, I guess Marcone did keep the knife on him the entire time. I thought he dropped the knife, but I guess not.
Nah, he's got it.
Well, if you haven't, you might as well like hold on to it, I guess, but it's not doing it much good.
I think he's staying up there because it's safer than being down there, technically.
That is very fair.
And he's like, that's why he cuts the rope. Well, I guess Dresden will remark on that later, because he says he's like, I won't skip. Sorry.
Say, is it really far ahead? Because I don't remember that.
And it's after all the stuff happens.
Okay, okay.
They talk. Yeah.
Then we'll come back around to that. But Dresden is able to climb out of the pit, where he hears shouts erupting from elsewhere, which he guesses is Denton and his lackeys, because they must be watching the pit to guarantee, everyone dies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then Tara comes out after, much more graceful than Dresden, but she climbs up the rope and kind of acrobatic jumps out of the pit, lands in the 3-point superhero landing. And then she said, "Go, wizard. Take care of the Denton and his lackeys. I'll handle McFinn." Where Dresden briefly argues against it. And then she's like, "I know him," and it's funny because then she switches back to her, or transforms into her wolf form, but he remarks that Tara was fast and graceful, where they were quick. Tara was quick and elegant. Like, she was a much more powerful form than the FBI were, or the Hexen Wolves.
Very sleek, very natural for her.
Yeah, very, very natural for her. And as he's like kind of thinking about this and remarking it, here's a gunshot and a bullet smacks against a tree beside him, and he's like, "Okay, time to go." And he slips his hand beneath his shirt. Oh yeah, and touches the wolf belt. That I actually did not see this part coming.
I did not either.
Really? Okay, I was wondering if you saw it coming, because I knew he had the belt the whole time, but I did not think he was going to use it at any point. But he slips the belt on him, clicks it, and he changes into the wolf. It says, which is kind of interesting. It almost feels like it's alive. He said it was vibrating beneath his fingers, talking about the belt, that is. Warm to the touch, alive to its own fashion, and full of power and strength. To be that, almost physically vibrating with power, those devices have to be really, really powerful. Which makes sense from just the description of the FBI agents and how they succumb to its power. But he throws it on, clicks it, immediately just turns into the primal beast, and just kind of fixates on the hunger, the ferocity, the power, which I found it interesting that he whispers an incantation. I don't know if any of the other FBI's said this incantation, and that's where he's getting it from.
I don't know where he got it from. I know that he hears them chanting or like muttering
did.
stuff when they do it, but that he never got the exact word, so he just goes with the whole lupus.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense, but I just thought that was kind of interesting. But everything that Harris described and what he saw from the Hexen Wolves, he's feeling. Where he even says, "I felt the same hunger rising from my own heart and surging through me. It was perfect," which is interesting. He's using the belt for the first time, and he's already like succumbing to these like almost like madness.
It's like shooting a drug right into your
Right.
veins and you're like, woo.
Right, like the worst drug imaginable. He also is cursing a whole lot more in this part too, because he refers to Benny as a stupid biche.
Yeah, he starts going like, yeah, he's full like feral, like.
Where she just runs at him, and he said, "I missed the heart's blood, but she was badly hurt 2 steps." Oh yeah, they lunge, and she's overconfident where she's just like using the raw power. Dresden is using the power but also the swiftness. He's faster, and he destroys her. Like, he just outplays her immediately, and immediately her hunger just goes into like some like terror and fear. And he said with 2 snaps he severed her hamstrings as she tried to flee, and left her writhing on the ground, helpless and terrified. And it happens like in a fraction of a second. It's just like snap, bam, she's down. And then yeah, he says to Victor goes the spoils, her blood, her life was mine to take. That was exactly how it should be. I stalked forward to finish her as was only proper, just to reinforce like just the absolute brutal primal nature of these belts. And even more so, and I think like this is where shit really hits the fan, because so Benny's down on the ground, or Ben's, or whatever her name is, and Wilson comes out of the trees, and he is in his wolf form as well, but he sees Ben on the ground hurt and immediately goes for her. Wilson turned on her, his fury out of control, and lashed his jaws on her throat and just immediately kills her. So he is just completely blind to the rage, I guess.
Yeah.
And to show even more how powerful these belts are, Harris comes out of the trees. I don't know if this is showing how much the power of the belt has over him, because he's not even wearing the belt anymore. He doesn't have his belt. Or maybe, yeah, he wants it, or maybe he's just not. I don't know. Maybe it's stupidity. Maybe it's because he's not able to see as well in the dark as everyone else right now. But he says, "Those wolves," and screams, and they got out, they got Ben. Oh. So he thinks they're the other wolves.
Yeah.
And then he shoots, he starts shooting at Wilson, who released the dead Ben's throat. So he starts shooting at him, and then I don't know if the belt falls off or if he unfastens it. He twisted. This is Wilson. He twisted and strained as he went down, Paul scrambling at his own stomach until he takes it off. Until there was abruptly a balding, overweight man laying on the earth beside the dead wolf, his jacket open, his shirt unbuttoned to show the unfastened wolf belt. There was blood all over Wilson, bubbling out of his mouth, and then Harris realizes that, oh shit, he shot Wilson. Oh, is Wilson his last name? Because he says George, oh god, oh god. I guess it's George Wilson. Okay. Yeah. Wilson didn't answer the kid. He simply drew his gun from his jacket and started shooting. So even in his, like, he's no longer in wolf form. I don't know if this is retaliation or just like the bloodlust, but they just
Yeah,
gun down
like,
each
probably
other.
a bit of both. He's just like, you killed me, and he's still just crazy, and he just bam, he just blows him away.
Yep. So they just waste each other. Both men went down. That's what it said. Bleeding out onto the earth. Just an absolute chaotic scene that just spiraled out of control. Might have been a little resentment built up too. Honestly, that's very fair because at one point, yeah. So when Harry had Denton, he had the gun to the back of his head. Harris did make a comment, and I forgot to highlight this. He made a comment that they could just let Denton die and all of them get promotions from killing Dresden and finishing this mission without Denton. So it showed that Harris had like no loyalty whatsoever and was just power hungry. So
Yeah,
maybe something to do with that too.
that's a good point.
What was I missed the what happened next? Oh yes, okay. So then Denton comes out, and I think it's interesting and funny how they just trickle out one by one. It's like FPS shooter 101, like multiplayer 101. You do not trickle out. You go out as a team and engage people because you have a much better chance like defeating them as a team. But these guys just one by one and just feed anyway. I just thought that was kind of interesting. But Denton comes out, and then Denton and Harry square off in their wolven forms, where Denton has the upper hand in terms of strength. Harry has the upper hand in terms of speed. And they do exchange some blows. Denton lands at least one or two. I don't remember where exactly. But either way, he lands a couple blows on Harry, and then Harry returns and gets a pretty good hit on his foot, on his leg. Sorry, I'm watching the Discord go in and out, so I don't know if you can hear me at all, but...
Yeah, no, you're good. You just
Okay.
unroboted now.
Okay. I can see it, like, unrobot in real time. It's kind of crazy. I wonder... Hang on, let me look at the region of this room. Here, leave the room and come back in. How do I sound?
Sound good?
Okay, I put it on East just to see because it was on auto. We'll see if that helps at all. But yeah, so the Harry and Denton exchange blows and go back and forth. Harry realizes that he needs to lay heavily into the speed, his superior speed, so he kind of bides his time, gets a few like little nicks here and there, and then gets a good hit on one of his legs, and so Denton's down to really only 3 good legs, so really kind of hinders his speed. But the whole time, Dresden, he's referring it to like a dance, and like he considered Denton like a brother, but he has to kill him, and it's just like very, very primal. It's like the what is the saying, like the only the fittest will survive, or something akin to that comes up in the description quite a bit. And the fact that it's
Survival
good,
of the fittest.
survival,
Darwin.
yeah, thank you, survival of the fittest. One of them is going to win, kill the other, and survive to hunt and feed, and it's just very... Oh, and he also says it, or he thinks at one point, Harry that is, that he would have accepted Denton bowing down to him and following him and going on hunts with him, and he would have been family, but at this point it's 2 alphas that are just fighting and then one has to die. So again, very primal. Yeah, so he's pretty Denton's pretty much hosed at this point. He's down on one bad leg. Harry gets the upper hand and goes straight for the throat, and at the last moments, Denton takes off the belt, and according to Dresden, he said the fool scrambled to take his belt off, melting into the ugly two-leg form, his suit covered in blood. And then Denton starts begging for his life. Oh, excuse me. It says, "Oh God, please don't kill me, don't kill me." And Dresden's just thinking, like, how pathetic, like, this, he's not even worthy. This isn't, he's not even giving him mercy. This is just something that has to be done and things like that. And then amongst the whole, oh yeah, and then Dresden, it just like has in his head, no weakness, no mercy. There's only blood, there's only killing. And then he hears amongst all this chaos a very quiet, terrified voice whispering his name. And he looks up and he sees Susan in the moonlight with her camera, obviously getting the story, because, you know, that's what Susan's all about. Which is like, at this point, normally, I think reporter and I think scummy and, like, you know, all that. But at this point, it's like, nah, she's a good person. She's, you know, she's there for her story because that's what she does. But she does help people. Like, I have some respect for her now. My mood has changed about her.
Yeah, she was pretty. I was questioning her early on in the first one, but yeah, no, she's all right.
Yeah, exactly. But she's there and she's terrified of what she sees of Dresden. She says, "My God, Harry," and she fell to her knees and looking at her, and that kind of knocks him out of. Hey, Looney, what's up, dude?
Hey,
knocks him out of the blindness of the power and the belt and whatnot. She still has a reporter drive, but she's not scummy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's like what I feel like she's what reporting and reporters were like originally. You know, at heart, like people who are looking for the truth, looking for the story. And as time has gone on, there's just like a lot of that has become scummy. It's dipped into less reporting and more paparazzi, if that makes sense. And I think that's where the scummy part comes in. But no, she's a reporter at heart.
Yeah, she wants that scoop.
Yeah, exactly. She's out for the truth. She wants to find the weird and the mysterious and whatnot. But I feel like this this Harry, the Harry part of Harry, the Dresden part of Harry and the Wolf part of Harry are very much fighting at this point, and now he has something to like really hold on to try and get out of this beast form. He says, "I could feel the belt's power in me, its magic, its strength. I recognized it now, and I recognized why there were parts of me that loved it so much." So now he's just kind of becoming self-aware of what's happening and the danger of the belt. Yep, and eventually he's able to overcome that power and take off the belt. And
like Christie says, he's got that. The darkness is just so easy, and it's oof, you can feel it. The power, the pull is just very strong.
Well, especially for him because he's already succumbed to it once.
Yeah,
I think that's why it's been such a problem for him, because he knows what the dark power is like and having that power, and he wants it, he loves it, but he knows it's not good. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then Susan kind of talks him out of it, but he's better now, but he's still really shooken up. Where Susan tries to like come and like help him, and he tells her just don't touch me, can't touch me right now.
Yeah.
And of course, my notes did not update here, so now I'm not really sure what next. It says far side of the woods, there was another raid shaking. Right, okay, so they're having this back and forth, and does Murphy come out too? Yes, Murphy comes out towards them with the alphas, and he tells all of them to go back to safety, go back to the van. Murphy won't listen to him, which makes sense. That's just Murphy. He's headstrong, and she's here for to protect people. And then Susan like puts up kind of a fight, and then he just yells at her, like, "Nope, go." And so Susan takes the alphas, the teen wolves, back to the van or off in the distance, and from the far side of the woods, where the pit is, they hear a billow of rage, a shaking of one of the ever trees, and then a sharp, sudden yelp and of anguish, which they assume Terra. And then let's see, the pain rose to a frantic gargling sound and then went silent. So they fear the worst for Terra, but they need to take care of it. And I think at this point, yeah, Harry asks, "What about Marcone?" And Murphy's like, "What about him? Like, he's scum. Who cares?" But he's like, "No, he helped us. He saved us. We need to help him." And she's like, "Well, I mean, if you say so, but I don't know." Yeah, and the last words are "F you, Harry Tristan." He's like, "Yes, famous last words." And that's the end of that chapter. Oh man, that was so, especially with the whole FBI agent situation, was so frantic and chaotic that it happened so fast. I don't know what I was expecting, but
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting them to turn on each other like that so fast. It was crazy.
makes sense. The madness of the belt, they're just gone already, and they just
It does,
They
yeah, that's
did.
true.
they ended up killing each other.
Yeah, they succumb to the bloodlust. I mean, and it all started with Ben being just bloody. I think at least the side of the blood and her being injured just kind of
Wounded,
drove.
a free
Yeah.
kill. Just,
Yep. And I think also Jim Butcher did such a good job describing Harry's what he was feeling when he was the wolf as well, and how much power and all of that. That is, I did not do it justice describing that chapter. You need to go read that chapter if you're interested. You need to read the book if you're interested. But it's so good. I was trying to give some brief cliff notes, but my God, it goes so. It almost is uncomfortable how much detail he goes into and what he's feeling.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, me too. Me too. It alludes to his master being dark, so he's seen it. That's true, yeah. Just read all the books. It's true, yeah. Just read all the books. He writes characters so well. He really does. He really does. Yeah, and so into the next chapter, chapter 3, which starts off. He now Dresden. They're heading back to the pit. He now sees what. Also, Murphy has a gun now. She picked it off of. Now we found out she picked off Wilson's body, but now Harry sees like what sort of state Wilson, Harris, and Ben are in. They're just absolutely
blown away.
Yeah. Harry took 2 rounds to the face from Wilson's bullet. Wilson's stomach is eviscerated by Harris's bullets, and Ben's is just I don't know if her head is detached, but she no longer has a jugular from Wilson tearing it out.
Yeah.
It's bad. And Harry says, "I tried not to smell her blood," referring to Agent Ben. Or to notice the dark surge of pride that went through me. leftovers from my experience, because he bit through both her hamstrings, I think, actually.
Yeah.
He did a
got
number on her.
both of them. Like she
Yeah.
was done.
Yep. It was not good, not good. Yeah, this is the part where, and then they make their way back to the circle of pine trees and the pit where Marconi is still dangling, and I was like, wait, why is Marconi still there? And that's when I realized I misunderstood the pit. But yeah, he's still just hanging there. The rope supporting Marcone had been secured with a hasty knot easily undone, but he's still just swinging there, which makes sense, like you were saying, that he probably just chose to stay up there. Harry remarked, like, it has to be excruciating hanging from there for that long. He can almost feel that, because they're not to the pit, they're actually in the tree line looking to make sure McFinn isn't roaming about. And he gets Marconi's attention and is just like, Navy SEAL sign, do you see anything around you? And Marcone's like, no. And then Harry starts making his way up to Marcone, and he starts speaking about the knot. He tries to undo it so he can undo him, so Marcone can grab the rope so he can swing over, and Harry will like help him, like catch him and help him up on the ground, solid ground. And he said, Dresden the pit, and he looks down and Luke Garou is just staring right back at him. So not sure how he got in the pit, but well, Tara obviously had like put him there, or maybe like lured him in the pit or something.
Yeah.
But it doesn't
How I got there either.
it doesn't really matter, because McFinn is just climbing up the wall of the pit, and
Sure
it's
does.
just coming straight at him, which
Pit, what pit?
yeah, exactly, right. Harry tries to do I don't know which spell this is. It just says
He
Wi-
does
Fuego?
Fuegos, like his.
is that the
that's
fire or is that the
one he-
wind?
That's the one he hit him with the rod, and he blew him away through the building. He uses it a lot. It's just fire.
I think it's oh, I thought it was the wind spell.
That's fire.
Oh, okay. It's fire? Okay. I assumed fire because, like, fuego, fire. Makes sense. Oh, that's wind. Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha. Either way, the effect is not the same. A little fart, little smoke, a little puff of steam. Just and the McFinn is just coming straight for him. Excuse me. Which he's able to dodge him once. I drew the breath straight up in the back of the chain. This part. Don't want to spoil anything coming up. Yes, okay, so he dodges him once, puts a little bit of distance by him, or between them, and starts running back towards the trees to, well, he's not really sure what he's gonna do, but he's trying to think of something, and he's just like, I'm gonna die. This is good. This is it. I don't have anything. He says, if I'm gonna go down, I'll go down as a wizard should, proud and ready to face what's behind. Because like, he ran, but when he came to the conclusion like he couldn't really do anything else, that's when he turned to face him, and this is where we are now. I could spill out my death curse, a potent working of magic. If I had time to speak it, maybe I could counter McFinn's curse with it. Take a horrid transformation off of him that St. Patrick had allegedly laid on him. This isn't the first time we heard of a death curse, and I never really thought about Harry being able to make a death curse, which makes sense. He actually has a death curse on him. I don't know if it's confirmed, but I think it was his master that put a death curse on him. Because remember they talked about the one who walks
isn't
behind.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was a death curse. I mean, that
Oh, I
was
thought it
definitely
was.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong. He definitely has some sort of curse on him because they
Definitely is
mentioned
cursed, yeah.
the man who walks behind or something like that.
Yeah, he's definitely still got that shadow on him.
Which I don't know
Even
if
though he
that's
took care of it somehow.
Well,
but the shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the shadow's still on him. He was absolved of the morality of killing his master, but I'm pretty sure the death curse was from his master and still is with him because it's a death curse. I'm not sure. I'm a little unclear of the details there. But we've heard of. Actually, that might be the only instance we've heard of death curse. Either way, now he's talking about him being able to do a death curse. So, which I don't know if he would be like. I don't know if you need, because he doesn't have any magical oomph anymore. He's tapped out completely. So I don't know if just the act of him dying, he'd be able to curse someone.
The final, because he does say a lot, like if he did something that was that powerful, he would end up killing himself. So it's kind of like that. You're gonna die anyways. So use all the power you have, and it'll probably kill you, sure, but you get to do your death curse or whatever.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I don't. That's it's something I didn't think about, and it was kind of like, oh, well, maybe that's the ace in the hole he was talking about.
I think the ace in the hole was the wolf belt, right?
Oh,
Pap that out.
that's true.
That's pretty much all we had.
I didn't put that together.
Now
Mostly because
now
I didn't
thinks
think he
he's
would
got
ever
nothing to
use
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
Okay, all right. That makes way more sense. But yeah, he's just kind of coming to terms with he's gonna die. Like he's just gonna stand his ground. He's gonna take it proud. He takes out his pendant, his star, and puts it on his chest to all in display. And then he realizes something. He says, "My mother's amulet, silver amulet, inherited from my mother.
Yeah.
Inherited silver. Okay." And there's a light bulb. And then he realizes, wait, I do have one more trick. And he takes off the necklace, breaking the chain. And I felt happy about this because I remember doing this as a kid. Like, as a kid, if anything was on a rope, you like to, at least for me personally, you like to spin it. You spin it real fast, you make a really cool noise, and he takes the amulet and spins it above his head to create a circle. And from what we've learned in this book and the first book, circles are very, very powerful when it comes to magic in terms of protection, protecting the things inside of it, protecting something from being able to escape the circle. It's just part of a lot of different kind of spells. But he swings it, it's also for focusing. So regardless of like capturing or keeping things out or keeping things in, it's also a really good focus. Excuse me. So he spins it, focusing on it, putting a little bit of magic energy into it, which like sends a spike through his brain, but it pops and it works. So he has this protective circle around him. This next part I have to make sure I'm getting the right order because it's very, very important.
Yeah.
He starts chanting the Vento, I think, something Vento Servitas. Yeah, he starts chanting. The amulet starts glowing blue and azure blue like a candle flame, and as he starts chanting, it becomes iridescent and brightens. Some sort of magic thing is happening. He's making a protective circle, and then he yes, Murphy stepped out from the woods towards him, in between him and the approaching Loop Guru, the approaching McFinn, and points a gun at him. It says, "Harry," she said in a very calm tone, "get down on the ground right now." And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
As a reader, I'm like, what's happening? I'm not following. I'm missing something. Does she like? And apparently Dresden's in the same boat. He's like, wait a minute, what? No, like, does he even respond? I don't think he responds at first because he can't. No, he does not respond. He continues. And she says, "I mean it, Harry. I don't know what you're doing, but get down." Oh, that's right, because he's in he's like chanting while he's doing this. He's reciting it, so he can't
Can't
stop.
say anything either. Yeah.
Right. He has to just keep doing it. He just says, he thinks it. I just hope that I could finish the job before Murphy gunned me down. Everything in the past few days came down to that single instance. And the loop guru it's not stopping. It's coming closer and closer, and now sees Murphy, and it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna get a little snack before I get my little wizard main dish action. And Dresden just kind of just keeps spinning it, pouring all that he can into it, and eventually shouts the last incantation and flings the amulet, more like flinging it's not the right word. It more rockets out of his hand towards the loop, towards McFinn, right as the gun goes off in Murphy's hands. Because I think it said she was like shaking the whole time, but she fires off the gun at the same time. The pendant hurls towards the loop guru like a comet, incandescent white, and struck the beast's the creature's breast like a lightning hammer into an ancient tree. And then there's like this brilliant blue, like I think it's blue. Yeah. Blinding blue white shower of sparks, blue fire erupt from his chest. It's Blackheart's blood ignited by the blinding flame, and it's just engulfed in this. The loop guru fell to the earth and changed. Muzzle melted back into human face, so he's shifting back into his human form. Harley McFinn lay before me, partly up on his side, one hand pressed to his heart. It was and then he sees all the pain and kind of actually what he saw previously in McFinn. When did they soul gaze? I know he saw his eyes. I think they did soul gaze.
Did he? I don't know.
I think he did.
Must have missed it.
I might be misremembering that, but he is definitely seeing all of his pain, his rage, everything from his past deeds in his loop guru form. And then he sees him finally coming almost like to peace, like coming the warmth and clarity coming to his eyes, with a small smile on his face, and it says it was the expression of forgiveness, something to let me know that he understood. Then he laid his head down and was gone. The blackness followed. Okay, I did miss a step. Sorry. Before that, when the gunshot went off, Harry felt something slamming into him, and he was almost like kind of witnessing this with McFinn as he was like losing his consciousness, like he, from exertion, from the hit, and from the gunshot, from what he knows, and just kind of like they fade at the same time, but they kind of both like come to the realization as they're both coming to this darkness, as Harry Dresden says. And that's the end of that chapter. So he's dead. No, I'm just kidding. The start of chapter 34 says, I woke up. That surprised me in itself. He wakes up, he sees essentially what he just saw. Like it doesn't say how long he was out for, but it doesn't seem like he was out for very long. No, it doesn't say. He sat up, so high. Still high overhead. Yeah, no, he's still high overhead. So I think he just like blacked out momentarily, but he comes back into consciousness with Murphy right there. And she's saying, come on, Harry, don't you do this to me. He blinks his eyes a few times. He says, you shot me, Murph. I can't believe you shot me. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, sorry. Emmy just walked in and I was.
Oh, you're good. I just saw the red, so I wasn't sure. And she was like, what did she say? You stupid jerk. You should have gotten down when I told you to. I was busy, he says. And they have this banter back and forth, and he's like, seriously though, you shot me. And, well, he was like, I forgive you for shooting me your job. Oh, yeah, he was like, I forgive you. And she's like, you what? It's like, I forgive you, Murph, for shooting me. Your job and all, I understand. And she was like, what are you talking about? Look behind you. And Denton, it has a branch, like he's using like a club, but he's sprawled out with a bullet hole in his forehead. And he's like, oh,
Ooh.
oh, you were saving me. I was
love that.
saving you.
Yeah, that was great.
It was so funny.
Both saved each other.
Yep. He had fallen on a branch, one hand. Yep. His eyes were wide and staring and savage. His face was loss of blood. Yep. He just was totally gone. I shot him, you jerk. He came running up behind you, is what she said. But yeah, they saved each other, and all was saved. So then we have. It was kind of a weird transition here. They go from that into the kind of like wrap up of the book, and maybe, well, we'll finish and we'll get back to what you were talking about earlier. He said the police had a hell of a time sorting out all the mess at Marcone's place. Essentially, nothing really came of it though. Like it said, Marcone went with Murph. Let me back up a second. Marcone was arrested, understandably so, but he was out within 24 hours, 48 hours, if that, a few hours. He didn't stay long.
Didn't have warrants. They got
Yeah, it was a mess. But the thing I think that really saved him is that all of the forensic side of the FBI dying, they killed each other. Very clearly, they killed each other because Murph shot him with one of the FBI guns as well. So even Denton got shot. Sorry, Denton got shot by I don't know whose guns. Wilson's gun? Yeah, Wilson's gun, because Murphy took Wilson's gun. So they killed each other, and some sort of beast killed Ben. So no one was really to blame there. Hendricks didn't die. Hendricks was he wore his Kevlar vest under his shirt, and I mean he was black and blue all over his chest. Yeah. But he was not dead, which Dresden said he was happy. He was happy to hear that. Yeah. And I was too. Handy. I didn't want Hendricks to die.
No.
Hendricks and Dresden did ride in the ambulance together to the hospital, which is funny. He said after that,
I'm like, I don't know how he'd fit in there with him.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't think ambulances are that big. I've never been in one before, but Hendricks is a big dude, and Dresden's also a tall guy. So
well, I guess they didn't say where they were. He could have been sitting up front because, I mean, yeah, he's wounded, but he would be fine enough to sit up front in like the ambulance, and they have him in the back or something.
That's true. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Imagine how much Kevlar that took to make his vest. Oh my god!
Yeah.
I think they also don't they describe him like almost bursting out of his shirt. That might be why he has a Kevlar vest underneath it too, and his his sheer unit size of a person.
Yeah.
Ambulances are big. They're not that small either. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe that would make sense if he sat up front though. I thought this part was also really touching. It said, I, being Harry, went with Murph to Carmichael's funeral, and she went with me to Kim's funeral. So that's literally all it said, but I thought that was kind of touching that they went with each other.
Hey, Pi.
Hey, Pi. What's up, dude? It's actually here talking about Marcone. Dresden says that he hears his lawyers had him out in less than 3 hours. That's crazy. Yeah, none of the peace officers there had possessed a warrant, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah. When I don't know how much later, a few days. Yeah, after a few days, Marcone called Dresden and said, "You owe me your life, Mr. Dresden. Are you sure? Or are you sure we can't talk business?" And Dresden said, "The way I see it, John, you owe me your life. After all, even if you'd cut yourself free, you'd have just fallen down into the pit and gotten eaten by the rest of us. And Marcone's like, of course. I just hoped that you hadn't realized it. Nonetheless, Harry, and then he just hung up on it. Or he said, don't call me Harry, and then hung up on him. I love how Marcone was like, yeah, I just hope you weren't paying attention. And yeah. Oh yeah, and then Susan filmed the whole death of the Loup-Garou from quite 50 yards away with quite a good zoom. The light from the amulet illuminated the scene rather dramatically without really showing many details, which I thought was funny. She got her big scoop, and according to like the camera's perspective, it looked like Harry was just waving around a glow stick, and that Murphy turned and shot the werewolf, so she actually got the credit for it. I thought that was so good.
Which is good, yeah. And then so it kind of gave her back her reputation. So now everyone's like, you get a real name sign on your door, and not under suspicion anymore.
Nope. Yep. She got a lot of politicians and councilmen to back her, and Internal Affairs was called off. And yeah, the politicians down at the city hall paid for a real name tag on her door. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
Now the interesting part, so that film did get Susan a promotion, and it was premiered on some like news channels and things like that. But after I don't know how many, it was a couple days, I think, the film disappeared.
Poof.
The film disappeared, and also I think the main guy who edited the film disappeared as well. Why did I not highlight this? The weird thing was that the film just vanished after 2 days. No one knew what happened to it, but the film technician in the room with the exclusive WGN channel, that's the one who ran the film clip, disappeared as well, leaving only a few scattered and low quality copies. A couple days later, some resources came out saying that it was a fake and discriminating it, but at that point it'd been too late. Like even with the disappearance and the popularity of the film, gave Susan the promotion, a big raise, and a guest slot in Larry King Show. But I do think I suspect White Council business. I think they made that.
Could be, yeah. I'm not sure, but that definitely seems like it could be.
Yeah, I think it was White Council mopping up the. Which Harry. Harry. He also says, I didn't call Susan for a while after she had seen me so far gone into being a monster that I might as well have been one. Which was understandable. Like she saw him with blood in his mouth hovered over this dude that he was gonna, bite into his jugular.
Gonna bite his head off.
Did you just say Larry King? Yeah. It says the film disappearance didn't stop Susan from getting a promotion at the Arcane, a big raise, and a guest slot on Larry King Show, plus a few other places. Yeah, that's what it says.
Classic.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
There's something else in here. Where was it? Oh yeah, Tara. So I think like a week later or so, I don't see the time, but he gets a note from Tara asking to meet at the Wolf Lake Park, where he goes and meets her. And she said that she just wanted to wish him goodbye, and then takes off her coat, and she's just naked. And he's like, okay. I was as a reader, I was like, what's happening? Because with Tara, it's always like, what's happening?
I knew it was nothing though. I was just like, yeah, she's just doing her thing.
That I very quickly went to that, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, she's just being Tara. Because then she just says, she drops her cloak, she's naked, and she says goodbye. And he says, where will you go? And she tilted her old amber eyes. I have family. I have not seen them in a long time. I will return to them now. And he says, maybe you call me sometimes. Her eyes sparkled, and she smiled a little a little sadly. No, Harry Dresden, that is not the way of my kind. Come to the great mountains in the northwest one winter. Perhaps I will be there. And then she shimmered into the shape of the great Timberwolf and vanished into the sunset. All those people shape-shifting into wolves? I had never once considered the possibility of a wolf shape-shifting into a person. It is revealed.
Oh my goodness.
She wasn't a, I didn't either. She wasn't a person. She was a wolf. Shape-shifting into a person. That's why she was Yeah, that's why she was so elegant in the wolf form compared to all the other fake wolves. And I was like, oh my god, that makes so much sense. It also kind of makes sense, like, he wouldn't soul gaze with an animal like he would a human, and that's why it didn't work. So
yeah.
I thought that was awesome. That's why she was so, and that's why she was so awkward. Yep, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's up, Hacker?
Hacker.
No, King. Check. That's cool. Yeah, I thought it was interesting that it said Larry King as well. I thought it would like make up a show, but no, Larry King.
Yeah.
Dresden did take her cloak as a. I thought this was kind of cool. As a reminder to keep my mind even more open to the realms of possibility. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Yes.
Hey, John. Just
Hey,
dropping
John.
by. Happy Saturday to you all. Happy Saturday, you too, dude. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. The alphas decided that I'm about the greatest thing since sliced bread as well. I thought this was very adorable. Because with Terra, they latched onto Terra because that's, who they
Yeah, she's
connected
a wolf.
with. Yeah. And now they had no one to like lead them or guide them. They were just kind of like lost, and they latched onto Harry. And they invited him to one of their campouts, and begrudgingly he said yes. That was cute. Yeah, and it was just adorable. But then Dresden did some self-reflection and buried himself in work for the next following weeks, and he also contemplated something that I was thinking about too. He said someone has. He was actually contemplating about book 1 and this book, like this whole 6-month period or whatever year period of the
Something like that.
something like that. But he said someone has to teach them being the warlock. What was his name? The one in the first book. Victor?
I
think it's Victor.
Yeah, I think so.
Someone had to teach him his spells, his magic. He says someone has to teach them complicated things like summoning demons, rituals, magic, and cliche villain dialogue. Victor? Okay, cool. And then with Denton, someone had to provide them with those belts and also tell them that Dresden was, tell them about the White Council for one, and that Dresden was a person to be suspicious and to handle. So there's someone, whether those are two different people or one person, there's someone in the background that's really gunning for Dresden, to the point where he said, you know what? I told Mister one night in front of the fire, maybe I finally gone around the bend, but I think someone might be trying to kill me. It's like, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And finally he reached for the phone and started dialing Susan's number, and Mr. batted his hand approvingly, and he said, or maybe I'm just too stupid to get out of trouble's way. And then he calls Susan. So that's the end of the book.
I don't know. The end was quick, and I don't know. I wanted more magic, but he lost his magic. I think so. It wasn't as cool as like the middle of the book where he was blasting.
Zeno said beforehand that he was a little disappointed about the ending. So this is why you wanted more. Yeah. More magic, more.
I want more man. I want more Dresden. Okay, I'll just read the next book.
It's understandable, and according to Christy, the next book is where things get really good. I thought it was refreshing because it seems he was fizzled. Yeah, exactly. You guys did it. I liked it because it showed both sides. We saw him like super powerful, super strong in the first book. Now we see him in like a different light where he's not
gone too far. It does show he's got limits, so which is good.
Yeah, I think it was good. Now I agree that the ending was not as strong, but I wasn't. I think it made sense for the
It still
story.
made sense. Yeah, it was good. Definitely good.
It also, I think, reinforced how strong those belts were, because he was absolutely tapped, and then he put on the belt, and he was untouchable. He was just I think someone landed maybe a couple scratches on him. I think it was actually Denton that did, but he absolutely demolished Agent Ben, and he still wrecked Denton as well.
And yeah,
But I really liked it. I also loved the web of different like connections in this book, because you had like the McFinn, you had the Alphas, you had the biker gang, you had the FBI agents, you had Marcone. You had so many different elements that that all seemed questionable and potentially bad guys. You very quickly saw that the FBI agents were not on the level, but
that was just kind of a guess though. So
still, it was a good shout, and I love, even with that guess, it still was like, oh shit, like they are part of it. I didn't feel like it was a spoiler, if that makes sense. It's just it was so well done that all the things connected the way they did.
Right?
Things really ramp up in the magic realm in the next book. Oh, I think you'll get your wish then.
He did have to use his smarts. He had to do his thinking. That was his responsibility, to use that knowledge.
Well, and he's said in the past, that's like a wizard's most valuable skill is their preparation. If they're prepared for an encounter, it's really hard for them to lose. So he had to tap into that. Whether he was prepared or had to think on the fly, you know. What was your I had to stretch. What was your favorite part of the book? Or maybe the craziest part of the book? Like for me, I think my favorite / craziest part of the book was the prison scene. Or the police station, sorry. The police station.
Yeah, that's where I was. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Same. Oh man, that was intense. Yeah. Shows you the strength of some of those. Well, I mean, granted, that was a very old, powerful beast, but even still, that was intense, insane.
Like an untouchable monster, yeah.
Also makes me wonder, like, so Dresden was completely tapped to magic, but he was still able to cast that spell on the locket to launch it at that's something. Okay, be able to launch it at McFinn to defeat him. I was gonna say, where did he get all that power? He talked about it. I forgot about that. He said like this stage, like where his power comes from, because the dark magic is easy. It comes from like passion, rage, or not passion. Sorry, lust, rage, and things like that. But his power comes from something harder, the belief in good triumphing over evil, the battle against evil, protecting the people that need to be protected. So maybe that's where he was pulling that power from, and with that locket being inherited by his mother and inherited silver.
Yeah,
That's cool. Right. Very cool.
Very good. Can't wait for the next one.
I'm excited. Like I said, I'm also excited to listen to it. It's gonna make taking notes harder, because normally I just like highlight the line or whatever, but it'll be different. So I'm excited to try it out. So next weekend, if we're going to do book club, I have to do it earlier, probably by like a couple hours. Do you know what you got planned next weekend, or should we talk about it a later time?
Yeah, we can plan on doing it earlier. That actually should be fine.
Like 2 hours earlier?
Yeah. Should be fine.
And I'll get that scheduled here soon. Actually, if you you guys don't mind, give me just a moment. I'm gonna put it on my calendar so I don't forget. That's gonna be okay. That means it'll be 11:30 my time on the 4th. Saturday the 4th. Yeah. And then again, like I said at the beginning, we're gonna be doing Remnant 2 DLC. I don't know how long this DLC is, so we're gonna see if we finish it in one go.
We'll find out.
But if not, we're gonna have the co-op stream on Monday. I figured we'll just do our powerful characters, because
Yeah,
why not? Like,
might as well.
yeah. So thank you, Wander. 10 a.m. Eastern time, 8 Mountain time? Yes,
yeah.
because just 2 hours behind that. Yep. Thank you all. Anything else you want to add before we sign off?
No, sir. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all. Hopefully see you again soon. Have a wonderful day.
See you guys.
Bye.